You're not supposed to see the air, are you? It is 5:48. I'm Danny Bonaduce. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
I like that shirt.
Why, thank you.
You're more than welcome. I said my first words to Sarah this morning were, "You are pretty in pink," and isn't that true? Morning, Paul.
Good morning.
You're pretty in pink too.
Oh, well, thank you.
No matter what color you're actually wearing, you're adorable in pink. Kids, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Everybody good back there?
Yep.
All right, then let's start this thing. Oh, that was it.
Goodbye.
So here's the thing. I wasn't going to mention the air, but because I figured, well, everybody's probably talking about the air quality. And then I thought, well, you probably should talk about the air quality if that's what everybody else is talking about. If the whole world goes, oh, God, the Beatles.
Yeah.
You need to go, oh, what's this band of mop tops coming to town? You need to talk about them. So I think I need to talk about the air for a moment. Sarah had a cold last week, thought it was getting better.
Yeah.
And now you've been, by the way, your voice sounds a little bit sexy with this. If you want to stay sick, if you want to stay sick for the next, 3 years or so, I think it'll work out for you.
You know, I
Certainly for the
didn't
filthy
realize
forecast.
it until later last night that it's definitely impacting my lungs. Like I feel it in my throat.
Yeah. Amy was worried about me because I have asthma and I got inhalers around the house.
Yeah.
I didn't. Excuse me. I
Right on
didn't
cue.
feel much except my eyes were burning so much last night, and I figured somebody on this show, all the three of us here and the kids back there in the booth, somebody's got to be irritated beyond what they can cope with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my eyes were sealing shut. It was awful, and I thought, all right, we got to go somewhere. Where can we drive?
Ooh.
iHeartRadio has stations everywhere. We can go to
Right, yeah.
Guam and do this show. Matter of fact, I think we are hysterical in Guam. We're number one in Guam, and we're not even there yet. Wait till we get there. We'll be number one with a bullet or whatever they do.
Well, a road trip won't do it though. I think we got to get on a plane.
Okay.
Depends on how far you drive on the
Yeah.
road trip, I guess.
Cars actually go just as far as planes. I don't know if you
but
know
there's
that.
wildfires all throughout Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke's coming
California.
from
I
the
would
north
say
and
go
the
to
south.
I'd say go right to Yakima. They keep setting it on fire. I don't even know what to do. At my,
Let's go to Guam.
Let's go. You know what? Just because Hoppa Dave is from there doesn't mean it's not beautiful. It's a really lovely place. So
Papa Daddy from Guam, guys.
yeah, exactly. Danny from Guam in the mornings.
I like it.
KZOK. Wait, I don't know what they do in Guam. Do they do
Yeah,
that?
that's Hawaii. Yeah.
Do you know? So I'm doing the thumbs up, pinky out, and kind of shaking my fingers at you.
Right, yeah.
Do you know how that was invented?
I don't.
A guy got his fingers chopped off at work, the three middle fingers.
Yeah?
And when they were healed up, he started doing that to say, hey, how the hell are you?
No.
Maybe no.
That was the only way he could wave?
Are you thinking the guy that replaced Ozzy Osbourne?
No. It's
that's
a
different.
surfing.
Yeah, but I think it was invented by a three-fingered surfer or two-fingered
Really?
surfer. No, not really.
You're
But
so making this up.
I'm not making it up. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Some lady in Hawaii, I don't know if she was a tour guide or just a nosy lady, but she pointed to this statue of this guy doing that and then told that story. So that's the guy that invented that thing.
Huh.
He got his fingers chopped off at work. And I don't even I like that it was invented by a guy who had just had his fingers chopped off. I just think it's cool, like a guy who was mutilated.
Seems like we're making fun of him then.
Who is?
That we're all making fun of him by pretending we don't have middle fingers.
Well, I never looked at it that way. You know what You know what you got to do, Paul?
Yeah.
If you want to find out the way Sarah's going to look at things, you look at it like a person. Then you turn it around and make it as negative as possible. And then you've got a bunch of people going, hey, the kind. And it turns out we're just mocking some mutilated guy.
Yeah, so if we want to pay
the legend
homage,
is the dude lost 3 middle fingers on his right hand while working at the Kahuku sugar mill.
Yeah. So now I'm not going to go, look, I'm right. I didn't know I was right. I thought I heard that. It turns out I did hear
Yeah.
that. Very cool. And what's the thing called, the hand gesture?
The shaka is what
The
they call it.
shaka! Shaka Zulu! It's a little different. That'd be surfing with tribal people in Africa, right? The Zulus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so if we were going to pay homage to the dude in Kansas, if we all walked around with like one eye shut, wouldn't that be making fun of him?
Yes.
Yes.
So it just seems like we're making fun of that dude pretending we have no fingers.
Well, we weren't there when he invented it, but here's what I get from my little story and from you looking up. He was kind of thrilled to be going, dude, sup, look what I can still do.
Yeah.
His guitar playing was out. He couldn't do that anymore. Salad making, possibly out. I don't know, but he could do that thing. He could make the Shaka Zulu, and everybody was stoked about it.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think my wife is leading a secret double life.
Oh.
So I made a waffle this morning, not handmade, but special waffles, low in carbohydrates. Watching my girlish figure.
Was it like an Eggo type?
Looks exactly like an Eggo.
Pop it in
That's
in the toaster.
Yeah, that's exactly like an Eggo, except with less carbohydrates and just a shade less yummy. But I went to throw it in a baggie because I didn't know what to do. I wanted it here at work with me, and I could throw it in my backpack. It'd come out with a bunch of cat hair on it if I didn't put. So I put it in a baggie, and when I say, "Look at this," I will describe. Don't you worry. So I get the baggie out and I pull it out to put the Eggo waffle in, and it's that.
Oh, well,
I will describe now. It is a Groucho Marx comic baggie with a huge face, eyebrows, and mustache on it. Who has these and who doesn't? How is it possible this is in my house and no one has said, oh, by the way, we're using funny bags this week?
And that's the first time you'd ever seen it?
That's my nickname, Funny Bags. Why wouldn't she tell me we were moving over to the Groucho things? I just thought it was...
Where on earth would she have found those? I've never seen those before.
Well, I was kind of getting... not mad. I just really did think it was weird that we possessed these things. I was going to use them like I knew they were there, and I didn't know they were there. It's a big face holding my breakfast. So I was against it, and I looked around some more, and there was saran wrappy kind of stuff with hams on it. And I have to figure that's that Archie McPhee's place.
Yeah,
she
it sounds like
loves that place. So I think that would explain. But still, tell a guy.
It's cute.
Don't surprise me with mustache hair on my bagel and stuff. It just seems wrong.
News is brought to you by Johnson RV. We are tracking a few breaking news stories this morning. Looks like somebody stole a yacht on Lake Union this morning, right by Chandler's Crab House. Looks like it was right outside of where your birthday broadcast was.
Those are real nice boats right there because they have sections for, I don't know if it's how long your boat is or how much it costs, but that's a nice section of yachts right there.
Do we root for this person at all? Maybe just a little bit?
That's in the details because so far, yeah, of course. But some guy lost his yacht.
Right.
You have to stay up all night about that.
Details are scarce as this happened just a little while ago. But what happened was a witness said he saw somebody take the boat, steal the boat, and then begin to ram other boats. So either the person had no idea how to pilot the boat, or he was mad.
I think he's mad because you pilot a boat if you're going forward anyway, like a car. Mm-hmm. You just don't give it too much gas as long as you're in the harbor and you turn the wheel left and right or starboard and port or whatever. But it drives.
You don't
just
have
like
to
a car.
know.
No, you don't have to know any of that stuff. There's something in your way, turn to the something, and then turn back a little bit.
Well, like I said, details are pretty scarce at this point, but police are at the scene. They were retrieving some items from the water, and it does look like they have the person in custody, but that is not completely clear. The other breaking news story that we are following, construction workers, due to a union contract dispute, are said to start striking at 6 o'clock this morning, which was 2 minutes ago. So I don't know if they have, walked off the job sites as they were directed to do.
Yeah, I don't know because we have a lot of construction going on around here. There's plenty of stuff going on. I think we're still the capital of cranes or whatever that is. There's a lot of stuff going on. It'd be a drag if nobody wants to build it.
Well, and they are all supposed to go to union headquarters at 6 o'clock. So we'll keep you posted to see if that is indeed the case. You may not see anybody working out on the roadways this morning.
Yeah, sometimes I pass those guys working out on the roadways, and I still can't see anybody working out on the roadways. Those guys with either flags or they wave their hand or stuff, I don't even know what they're looking at when they wave me through because my whole neighborhood is under construction. You can't get to my street without asking permission of some guy not qualified to block off streets. And then they look the other way away from me because they're still talking to this guy going, yeah, come on. There could be cars coming from every single direction. It makes me nervous.
Are you saying Jim the Flagger, who is our financial expert every Monday, is not like the best at his job, paying full attention to what he does on the roads?
See, that's the sad part. I'm saying exactly that Jim is the best at that job.
As of 5 o'clock yesterday, a Stage 1 burn ban went into effect throughout King, Kitsap, Pierce, and Snohomish counties.
I don't think this fire is paying attention to their little burn ban because everything's on fire.
Well, this is for homes, barbecue grills, charcoal, campfires, bonfires, fire pits, chimeneas, any of those you cannot do if you
What's
have
a
natural.
chimenea?
It's delicious.
Oh, I
It's
bet.
like a burrito, but then it's deep fried.
Oh, that's a chimichanga.
Oh,
Chimichanga.
So, but I can still barbecue, right? Like nobody's gonna come to my house and stop me.
If you have gas or a propane grill, you
Nope.
can.
And so I could just pretend that I have gas or a propane grill.
Paul, you can't grill. Have you looked at the air?
I have, yeah. It's terrible, but my little barbecue is not going to contribute to that.
right.
Yes,
but
it
if
will.
you think about this and stop being insane, you'll be outside making more smoke. If it blows in your way, you'll get your own smoke at the
Yeah,
barbecue,
which is
and then
delicious.
the whole world is on fire smoke. I don't think it's good for you.
So you cannot have a fire, Paul,
We'll
unless
see.
it's propane or natural gas. A stove and an insert is okay, but the air quality obviously is very,
Yeah.
very poor.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Did I mention I did the treadmill this morning?
Yeah, and I'm mad at you.
4:10 till 5 o'clock every day, 50 minutes. And I thought if I opened the windows and turned on a bunch of portable fans, it'd be blowing that smoke out. But I don't think that's what happened.
As of noon yesterday, all of the air quality reports throughout the portion of the state read unhealthy for all to very unhealthy. So nobody, it's not just the elderly, it's not, just people who have bad lungs or something. It's bad for everybody.
It's raining ash at my house, or at least it was last night.
It's raining men in my house. Hallelujah.
Many are experiencing ash to go along with that smoke this morning. And Paul, where you live, the ash raining from the skies could have been from 2 house fires that are presently burning.
Did you happen to think it was Paul's house on fire this morning?
Of course I did.
I totally did. They said, this house is on fire. It's in some silly place that regular folks don't live, but crazy people who want to farm. I think that's what they said. Live. And then they said it's Marysville, right?
Maple Valley.
Maybe your house wasn't on fire because I keep thinking I heard
No, it
Marysville.
is. 2
Yeah,
houses
Sarah
are
thinks my
burning
house is
right
on
now.
fire.
In Maplesville?
Maple Valley.
What is happening in Marysville?
I don't know. We've had several brush fires the last
Yep.
couple of days, big ones too. But I didn't see any houses on fire when I left for work. Hopefully, it's not my house.
These are houses that are about 6 miles apart. No indication that the fires are related.
So it could be me
yet.
and my neighbor.
Yeah.
It could. They said one of these houses is extremely old and sawdust was used as insulation, making it hard to fight the fire. In addition to these 2 house fires burning in Maple Valley that are filled with sawdust, one of them does not have a fire hydrant anywhere near it,
Oh, okay.
making it very difficult to fight this
Right.
fire.
Yeah,
These
that's
guys
not
are
right.
off the grid, man.
Now, the ash that's raining down on a lot of people is typically from these wildfires, but in your case, Paul, this could be from
Could
house
be house
fires.
When I was a young man, and I mean young, and however old I was when Mount St. Helen went off, it just
20 years old.
Oh, I was still old then. But anyway, everybody's cars, and nobody could really figure out what was happening because people weren't reporting on it. People were outside, whatever it was. It looked like Armageddon. It was really spooky and everything. And everybody has a pool in Southern California, all covered in grime.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's nowhere near those levels, but it is still extremely dangerous to be exercising outdoors. So take precautions. You don't need to exercise today. Exercise indoors, I should
I'm
say.
awful pretty.
Yeah, you
Not
are.
the exercise. You got to keep an eye on this stuff.
Microsoft said today it has uncovered new Russian hacking attempts targeting U.S. political groups ahead of the midterm elections.
Sure.
The company said a hacking group tied to the Russian government created fake internet domains that appeared to spoof 2 American conservative organizations, the Hudson Institute and the International Republican Institute. Other fake domains were designed to look as if they belonged to the U.S. Senate. Now, Microsoft did not offer any further description of these fake sites. And of course, Moscow is denying any part of this.
What do you mean spoof? Are they trying to be funny?
They spoofing means it's designed to look exactly like another website.
All right. And are you tricked into it?
A lot of people get tricked by this.
Yeah,
stuff,
see, I've
for
never,
sure.
because I don't really do too much on my computer. I try and write when I can, and I Google people's net worth, and I look up chords to guitar songs that I like. That's my entire interaction with the computer. So I don't know how you get tricked into this, but a lot of people seem to.
Well, a lot of it's on social media. right? So if you went to Facebook during all of that and you saw a news story, you would be like, oh, yeah, look at that. And you might click on a website and it looks totally legit.
And you think, who cares? Say whatever weird, stupid, risky things you do. And then every time I think, send it out that it's fake. Then I think about that guy really showing up at a pizza parlor with a shotgun because he believed that Hillary Clinton was running a children's sex ring out of it.
So crazy.
Americans are wacky, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe a lot of junk, but I don't believe that.
Microsoft also announced it's offering free cybersecurity protection to all U.S. political candidates, campaigns, and other political organizations. They said Facebook and Google have promoted similar tools to combat campaign interference. But as I said, Russia says, we're not doing that. Where's the proof? So they're saying that they didn't have anything to do with it.
I'm pretty confident that they did. But I just don't understand why, what's that guy? I think it was the Rolling Stones were on stage. They say, "Wars everybody fighting." Pretty good, by the way. Who cares if Russia does weird stuff? Are they really already in China too? Are they really planning to take over and invade America?
But you're not concerned that they're trying to influence our elections by tricking people into believing fake news about candidates?
I am, but I mean, and I would like it to stop for sure. Don't get me wrong. I want anything that we're doing, but I just don't understand the upside anymore to all this blustering. What was it Khrushchev that said, "I will bury you" to John F. Kennedy? And can we move on from there and stop being ridiculous? You eat your borscht, we'll eat our turkey. Everything will be fine.
Text that word right now for your chance to win that trip to Las Vegas. 200-200 is the number to text to.
Some very sad news this morning out of South Carolina. A 45-year-old woman was taking her dog for a walk yesterday afternoon when an 8-foot alligator went to attack her dog.
Yeah.
She tried to save her dog and she perished in an alligator attack. Now, this happened near a lagoon. This was near Hilton Head, and unfortunately, as I said, this woman did not survive the attack. The dog did not appear to be injured.
Oh, well, that's what's important.
Experts say if an alligator attacks your dog, let it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run away.
Yeah, if an alligator goes after one of my kids, I'm going to rescue it. See it bad.
Maybe. Is that common in South Carolina, gator attacks?
Yeah,
you hear about it in Florida. You hear about gators all over the place.
We hear Florida and Louisiana all the time. You do not hear a lot about it in South Carolina. Plus, this is Hilton Head, which is a lot of coastal areas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really think of it as a big alligator attack, but that's an 8-foot alligator.
And it was only a pond. It wasn't in the wild or anything. It was in a pond, I believe. And the thing is, if you fish, then you'll know the references. That lady's trolling is what it comes out to. You have a little stupid dog on a leash and it's ahead of you. Do that backwards and that's how you troll. Exactly. You showed that gator some bait and it came up to get it. And then I don't know if heroically you went to rescue that dog or crazily you went to rescue that dog, but the dog will be okay. But, yikes, that lady won't. It's kind of a gory death.
Bad news for those of you on a low-carb diet.
Hey, that's me.
Danny. It has now been linked to a shorter lifespan. Researchers have found that people who ate a moderate amount of carbohydrates live 4 years longer than those on low-carb diets, and people on a high-carb diet are living a teensy bit longer. So you want to be
But they're living at fat.
No, it's moderate carb, so it's not somebody who eats pasta
Spaghetti
and
every
cake
day.
every day.
Yeah.
But they said shorter lifespan for low-carb diets.
All right.
And 4 years longer, but it's the worst 4 years.
Yeah,
It's the
it's just, why do you want to?
No, it's the best
Everything
4 years because you're
hurts.
eating pasta again.
You're taking out your pancreas or something?
PepsiCo made a big investment yesterday. They bought SodaStream for $3.2 billion.
My wife has that.
I think you guys live together, so you both have a SodaStream.
Nope, don't touch it. Don't go near it. I don't want anything. It's voodoo. I'll buy soda water at the store.
Oh, I'm obsessed with my SodaStream.
She loves it too. She loves it. You know what it is? It's just like every other device in my house. I can't use it, so I will make myself feel like I don't want to use it.
It's super easy. You just go.
You have to make that
if I have
sound.
instructions like that, how can I go wrong?
SodaStream, if you are unfamiliar with it, is a countertop device that allows people to convert tap water into carbonated water. It's reusable bottles. Now, SodaStream is based in Israel. They have seen their stock surge over the past few years. A lot of people have been drinking sparkling water. It is healthier. Plus, you can add flavored syrup.
It is healthier? Sparkling water?
It's healthier than soda.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
That, yeah.
And you can add your own syrup to make your own soda if you wanted to. If you wanted to make Diet Coke or Coke. And it's also healthier because you can add less.
Anyway. Yeah, the sodas are terrible. I guess if you were going to make the commitment to live a healthier lifestyle, make your own colas.
Yeah.
But you ever go to a restaurant that does, you go, Coke, please, and they go, oh, we don't serve Coke. We have artisanal rat poop soda. And it's always terrible. They're so proud of it.
Well, they are selling a ton. SodaStream has been extremely successful, and now PepsiCo investing in it, buying it for $3.2 billion.
And I wonder if they'll fix that problem of the soda not tasting good. They could make it so that you can make Pepsi products.
I didn't think of that.
I didn't even think of that. Yes, they certainly could.
An Eastern Michigan man was arrested after attempting to evade police who had raided a marijuana growing operation by paddling away in a canoe.
You can't do that.
Different kind of slow speed chase. This is a 60-year-old dude. He is now facing multiple drug and resisting arrest charges. So the cops show up. They are raiding the marijuana grow. And he hops in a canoe. And they said he paddled out onto a pond on his property. And they're like, we see you. Where are you going?
Yeah.
So eventually he realizes he's got nowhere to go.
Well, they're so dangerous because we all know what canoes do, don't we?
Well, what's the difference between a Canadian and a canoe?
I don't know, Sarah, what?
A canoe tips.
Yeah, well, bad getaway vehicle then.
It's kind of a strange story, but everybody is talking about a restaurant in Waterville, Maine called Bolly's Famous Franks. They have been in business since 1962. It's a family-owned business. They have a couple different locations, but a lot of people have been sending them death threats because of a change to the menu. They switched from crinkle cut to straight fries.
No.
Can't do that. Like they gave like a 30-day notice or something, right?
No, they did not. Just one day.
Oh.
Straight fries.
How dare they?
They have a good reason, one I've actually never given any thought to, but the blades break more and it's more difficult to make a crinkle cut. They said they spent thousands of dollars replacing blades because they wear down faster. So it's an economic decision when they make their own French fries, to use a straight.
So they're going to pass that savings along to us, right? Now we get much cheaper fries?
No.
First of all, they wouldn't be passing the savings down to you if they're going to go out of their way to lie so bad. The crinkle cut blades, they tens of millions of dollars on French fry cutters.
I mean, who knew? But there is something about, I don't know, crinkle cut fries are yummy.
So are curly fries.
Yeah.
Lots of things you can do with fries to make them yummy. And one of those things is serve them to me. Anything above that is okay.
Yeah, they are honestly getting death threats from having changed over. They're getting international news coverage, and they're happy in a way, but they're not happy about the death threats.
You know, death threats from the anonymous world are actually kind of spooky. I got them when I said that I thought Rosie O'Donnell had committed treason and throw out the appropriate punishments. And this other guy was telling me that the World Trade Center, the 9/11, was an inside job. But I was eating a steak at the time, and I said to him on film, which was probably stupid, how about if I stick this knife in your neck?
Ooh.
And he went away, and that was the end of it. But then it ended up on the internet, and everybody was going, free speech, Bonaduce, we'll kill you.
Oh,
They didn't.
good.
Yes, thank you.
A Rhode Island woman has been rescued after falling off a sailboat and being stranded for hours on an island in Narragansett Bay. The U.S. Coast Guard said that the woman fell off her husband's 39-foot sailboat as they were sailing from Newport to East Greenwich. The woman was heard by another boater who was passing by this little island. She was crying out for help. She had hypothermia. Her husband was found after he ran his sailboat aground, and he said, "What are you doing here?" And they said, "Your wife was just found on an island." He said, "Oh, I didn't know she was missing. I thought she was down below."
I don't know. See, I think maybe that I get sailboats are pretty flat on top. You can see whatever is there. Maybe that happened, but then he crashed his boat into the dirt. Who does that?
Yeah, was he
He's getting
geezed?
away from something.
You didn't notice your wife fell overboard? I'm calling shenanigans. That's usually your job.
Well, they're downstairs. They can be, you can go downstairs in the galley and do whatever you want. But I don't believe it. I think he crashed his boat because he was trying to get away.
Yeah.
I think he must have thought she was going to drown.
Or wanted her to drown.
Right.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Story of the day.
Yay.
A topless woman was found to be drinking a box of Franzia Sunset Blush wine at a store.
Uh-huh. At a store?
She walked into a store.
So far, super classy.
Yeah.
guys. What store?
This
Something
is
high end, I would imagine. Like a Nordstrom.
Who knows?
like a Nordstrom
Yeah.
with the box wine.
Maybe Nordstrom Rack.
She was trying to show her Nordstrom rack, and they asked her to put a shirt on.
Well, this was 7 o'clock in the morning. She went into the store, got herself the Franzia Sunset Blush wine, decided to sit down on a park bench and enjoy her wine.
Oh, so she paid for it and left.
Oh, she did not pay for it.
Oh.
She was topless, and they arrested the 81-year-old woman because she can't do that.
You'd think that I would want to see the topless woman less when I found out she was 84. Yet
Not
that is
you.
not the case. Let's see him. Let's see what gravity did to him. Break those babies out.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
News this morning brought to you by Johnson RV. We've got so much more to come in just a few minutes. We'll tell you about a comedian who is in trouble for his comments about a certain church. We'll tell you what he said and where. You could soon own a very cool piece of James Bond. A familiar face for the Seahawks is saying goodbye. We'll talk about that. Plus, you can win tickets to an upcoming Mariners game next at Sports. Starting with music news, unreleased covers by Bruce Springsteen and Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, plus others, are set to be released as part of a new compilation marking the anniversary of the founding of an important protest music label. This is something called Appleseed Recordings, which was formed 21 years ago, has released music by folk artists like Pete Seeger, John Wesley Harding, and they're going to come out with this covers album, which will feature Seeger's We Shall Overcome, If I Had a Hammer. That will be performed by Bruce Springsteen.
I wonder if I'll like it better when it's performed by Springsteen. It's one of my least favorite songs of a whole movement where people a little older than I have to pay attention to these certain songs. Pete Seeger was very important. But if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. Well, don't. I'm your neighbor. Please do not hammer in the morning. Just never loved that song.
Previously released songs and recordings from Joan Baez, Bonnie Raitt, Jackson Brown, and others will be part of this, and it will be released on October 19th. Tom Morello, by the way, will be doing AC/DC's Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Vegas, baby, September 21st and 22nd, the T-Mobile Arena. It's our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Fleetwood Mac, Leonard Skinner, Justin Timberlake, Mariah Carey, Jack White, just some of the artists. There are going to be musical collaborations that you just won't see anywhere else. And you, listening, could be headed to the show on us, including hotel and airfare for two. You're listening for the next keyword. You text it to 200 for your chance to win. Get all the info at KZOK.com. Your next chance to win and text happens at 8:10 this morning. Soon, you'll be able to buy your very own 1964 Aston Martin DB5.
If you're super rich, I think. or it's a slot car, a Hot Wheels, or it's $1 million.
Up that price tag a bit, my friend.
Really?
$3.5 million.
For a used car.
This is
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
this is actually new, but they're going to be made almost exactly as they were in 1964.
Nope.
Which part does it know? That you don't want it or that it's fake?
It's fake. It's
Yeah.
it's a kid car.
You're going to spend that
It should
kind of
be
money on a fake car.
It should be $35,000
Yeah.
for the kit. 70 maybe if you want it put together for you, but it's not the Aston Martin that Sean Connery drove around.
Well, they say it is.
No,
This
they're
is
lying
gonna,
faces.
They say that because they want all the
All
money.
money,
Yeah.
yeah.
This will come from the same Aston Martin factory that created the original DB5s, and it's going to have all of the gadgets like the rotating license plate. Now, they said these are newly...
They are going to have the rotating license plate?
Yep.
That's not blatantly illegal?
It is not.
It's just illegal to use it. Right? It has to be illegal to use it, right?
I would think so.
Well, while the car's moving, perhaps, yeah. Now, this...
But if you're parked in a handicap zone and you don't care about the $250 ticket, can't you just flip the license plates?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be illegal to use
There's
it.
drama with this car.
I mean, you could use it at your own house just as a toy.
I guess.
this car had guns that poke through the taillights, removable roof
Also
panels,
illegal to use. The
I don't
guns.
know. You don't know that. Traffic's terrible.
the ejector seat,
Now, that one could be fun.
Yeah.
Is that just on the driver's seat or is that passenger as well?
passenger.
Nice.
It's only passenger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd you eject yourself?
In case, I don't know, you're about to crash.
She won't shut up, man. I'm ejecting myself.
All right, 3.5 million, and only 25 will be made for sale.
It's a dumb car anyway. Well, it's before cars got sleek and fast and neat. It's what a car will become in 20 years from then. It's a big, bulky, silly car. It was just neat because James Bond drove it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think cars, especially fast cars, because that's supposed to be a sports car. Man, you can take your kids to school in it and then shoot their teachers with machine guns, which would be rude.
The University of Utah is not happy with comedian David Cross. He sent out a tweet showing him wearing undergarments that are sacred to the Mormon
Yep.
faith. And the University of Utah says it is deeply offensive, but the college will not consider calls for the cancellation of his performance tomorrow. The college president criticized the tweet, but said this is the Free Amendment. This is his constitutional right, even though we do find it.
You know what bothers me about it is that it's a super stupid call to take a picture of those. Everybody knows what they are. He had to know what they are to put them on and take and they're actually called sacred garment. That's the name of them. Who puts that on? Because you can't help put those on right over your butt and your junk. And there's a whole group of people who say it's super important to our religion and spirituality. So I always find that Cross guy smarter than that.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I call it stupid because people are talking about it and he's a comedian and they all want to push the limits.
But the limits of what? What's the point there?
Well, what he posted this picture, he's wearing the clothing, wearing the undergarments,
Right.
and his tagline reads, Utah, learn the truth. And this is all in promotion of his comedy show.
To be honest with you, that's where it gets a little First Amendment with me. He now has the right, learn the truth. These classy underwear don't really work. Your Bible that John Smith found in the woods, none of that's real. Learn the truth, but you're a comic. How about you shut up?
He responded to the criticism by tweeting, holy moly, my opening 10 minutes are going to be on fire. So they are not going to cancel it. He'll be performing David Cross tomorrow in Utah.
Is that he also can't call them Mormons now? He's got to
it's
learn
like
that.
He can't.
They can't call themselves Mormons, is what they were saying.
They're asking the church themselves to call themselves the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Kind of wordy, if you ask me.
It's so wordy. Sylvester Stallone, some good news about his upcoming movie, Rambo 5.
Oh my God, with this guy. Is he the most sequeled guy in the world?
Let's think about that. I bet the Fast franchise people are.
See, I think they only did 7. No, I don't think so. You're
this is
thinking
only
just
5.
that one movie. That's
you mean
5. How about Rocky now? Now it's 10.
If you
Sequels
add
altogether.
2 movies together.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone is
Yeah.
the most sequeled guy, I think. Although you could go with the Agatha Christie kind of things, and every year they come out
James
with a new
Bond.
cast. Yeah.
But no, I mean, this you might be onto something with the sequels because it is the same character being brought back with a story that doesn't exist.
Same with Rocky Balboa, and he switched movies
Yeah.
to another guy's movie, Creed. Amazing.
So Rambo 5 is looking like a September 1st production start. They were supposed to be filming in the Canary Islands, but they have now chosen Bulgaria instead.
Oh, you got to go to Bulgaria.
What's even more bizarre is the storyline. Takes place in Arizona. You know what looks exactly like Arizona?
Is it Bulgaria?
Apparently Bulgaria.
Wow.
So the storyline is he's going to retire in Arizona.
Yeah, he's going to a Del Webb retirement home.
Yeah, he's taking on a sex trafficking ring in Arizona run by a ruthless cartel after returning to the family ranch.
Wow.
Rambo 5.
Rambo 5.
Fans of The Simpsons will be able to slurp a squishy, munch a heat lamp hot dog, and gulp lard lad donuts.
All right. I've never heard of any of those things, yet I would eat and drink them.
The world's first permanent real-life Quickie Mart is opening. Now, Danny, I know you're not a Simpsons fan. Paul, you've seen The Simpsons. You're familiar with Quickie
I want
Mart.
a squishy.
And this is the first.
You've never had a squishy?
This will be the first actual permanent Quickie Mart that you could go into to get all of the different types of stuff that is offered on The Simpsons.
They've done some like pop-ups before, right? Or just temporary at 7-Elevens, I believe.
I believe that to be correct.
That doesn't count.
No.
You can't pop up your quickie at a 7-Eleven. It's a 7-Eleven.
The store next door to The Simpsons will be the Aztec Theater, which is set to open later this year. This is all happening at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Wow. I guess you know what it is. It's Bubba Gump's Shrimp Company. They take, this was in a movie. Everybody's seen this. Let's make it a thing.
Yeah,
And by
makes
the way,
sense.
Bubba Gump's could totally use some help. It's not that good, man.
Well, it's very timely for The Simpsons to do it since the show's
30
so
years later.
new.
Are they going to have Moe's Tavern next door?
Oh, they should. That's a good idea. Sell Duff beer. Anybody been to Myrtle Beach? I've never been to Myrtle Beach.
I don't think so.
I'm wondering if it's like the Jersey Shore or if it's nice.
I think it's nice. I think it's nice, but I'm not positive. I'm
Road
also
trip.
not positive. I've never been there, but I don't think I've been.
Comedian turned farmer Jon Stewart rescued 2 rogue goats that were caught running around the subway tracks in Brooklyn yesterday. The former Daily Show host personally picked up the runaway goats at the city's from the city's animal care and control and took them to his farm sanctuary, which is located in New Jersey.
You know, why not? And because trains were held up for hours, right?
Yep.
This was a big deal. So here's one way to deal with goats on the tracks. And that'd be run them over. And if there's enough left to cook, hand it out. But if not, pulling over train, people got to get to work, and it's 2 goats. When Jon Stewart showed up, it became interesting. But when it's 2 goats on the tracks and you've got a train, by weight comparison alone, I'm confident you will win that fight.
Well, somebody showed up and tranked them. And then Jon Stewart
Awesome.
took them home, and the pictures of them, the 2 little billies, look like they're in good shape. Stewart previously adopted a bull who had escaped from a Queens slaughterhouse. They also adopted an abused horse in Pennsylvania. And they have been supporters of farm sanctuaries for a while, but to have their own location in New Jersey.
It's adorable. I'd like to show right up and trank Jon Stewart. You ever listen to the opening of our show? You ever listen to the opening of our show? Somebody says, Bonaduce, he looks really good. And then some crazy voice says, there's a thing that has never, ever, ever been said before. That's Jon Stewart.
Big book of things that have never, ever been said before.
That guy can shut up just a little bit.
I think it was a term of endearment.
Yeah, he likes you,
He
Dave.
likes you.
Is
He's a
that
big
what you guys
fan.
think? Danny was too
Maybe
good.
not.
Nobody ever said it ever.
He was a big fan of yours till you said you wanted to eat his goat.
Well, I would eat his goat. That's not a thing. That's not like a made-up thing. Anybody who wouldn't eat his goat's no friend of mine.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Bless you. I was watching the Mariners game last night, and I was shocked at being able to see the smoke from our skies on the field.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did those guys? I didn't even know those guys played last night. Who did they play? The Astros?
They played the Astros at home last night, and it was a smoky night.
It was a smoky night.
Now, it was smoky, but it was also exciting playing the first round Houston Astros.
It was. I was watching it, and I was about to go to bed until they tied it back up in the 8th inning, and I thought, maybe I'll stay up and watch this. And sure enough, they broke the tie and went on to win the game.
Nice.
You know who did it? Robinson
Cano. Yeah,
Robinson
nice to have
Cano.
Robbie back in the lineup.
Yep, home run. So big win, 7-4. And if you were at last night's Mariners game at Safeco Field, you need to start calling us right now. If you can tell us the song that played during Mariners KZOK Music Trivia, you're the first person to tell us what that song was. You will win tickets to an upcoming game. Derek, what do they win?
Tickets for the game on September 8th at 7:10 versus the New York Yankees, which just happens to be Salute to Latin America Baseball Night.
Salute to Latin America Baseball Night.
Why do I have a hard time with that one?
Because you don't want to salute Latin American baseball
Is that a
course I
players.
political
do.
thing or just a personal thing?
Who's my favorite
Wow.
player of all time? Big Papi. So,
Is that true? That's your favorite player of all time, Big
It
Bobby?
is. Yeah.
Not like a Babe Ruth or somebody
Nope.
of all
David
time.
Ortiz.
Yeah.
Big Poppy.
Big Bobby.
Or Mike Greenwell, who runs Gator World in Florida. True story. Call now, 800-252-1025.
What's a true story?
The guy who used to play outfield for the Red Sox ran like a Gator World in
Oh.
Florida. He was classy. Derek, where are we with the standings?
Astros and the Athletics are tied for first. We are behind them 3.5 games.
Oh.
Big
Second
series.
place. Right?
Big-
Isn't that how it works? They're tied for first. We get to be in second.
Close.
No?
We do need to win today. This is a very, very
Yeah.
crucial series as we continue play with the Houston Astros. First pitch, 7:10.
Where?
This is at Safeco.
Yeah.
Is anybody else going to be shocked if they call the game off?
I think they will.
Yeah, I would be surprised, even though it
It's bad.
doesn't look
It's
bad.
terrible.
We're all looking out the window
And the
right
message
now. It's
is
bad.
the message to people is don't exercise outside.
Right.
Yet we're going to talk about a professional sport being played. It would.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is it would not shock me completely if somebody said no. Even whether it be the powers that be or coaches. Say
Yeah.
no, my players aren't running around in
The
this.
problem is the baseball season is so tight. They have so few days off, and this game matters so much. You know, if it was further along in the season, then they'd be like, oh, yeah, this game isn't going to impact. This is going to determine who goes to the World Series.
Right, and I believe they will not cancel the game. I'm just saying if somebody did, they wouldn't be in the wrong. If somebody
Sure.
said no, we're not running around in this. That's
dangerous.
crazy.
Brad Peacock is taking the mound for Houston. Mike Leake, first pitch 7:10 on Root Sports. And it appears the longest tenured Seahawk is moving on. Punter John Ryan tweeted a farewell note from Twitter yesterday, thanking the city, the team, the front office, personnel, 10 years as a Seahawk. He said in his tweet, "It's been an absolute honor and privilege to play in this great city of Seattle for the past 10 years. I never wanted this day to come, but I knew it would someday."
You know, I was shocked at how much money that guy makes. I didn't think they made that much money. I think he was making maybe $2 million a year. Does that seem right?
It does.
Yeah.
Wow, for a punter, I just had no idea.
Well, and you think about it too. It's productivity, but 10 years in this for the same team, you get a raise every new contract if your performance is good, and it was. Well, we did use our 5th-round draft pick to select Texas punter Michael Dixon, so it wasn't a huge surprise, but sadness nevertheless. Well wishes to John Ryan. And it's official. Mike Tirico has been named the new studio host for NBC's primetime Sunday pregame show, Football Night in America. Now, Dan Patrick has been doing it forever and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't love what I'm doing anymore, so I'm not going to do it anymore. And there are plenty of people who said,
I'll do it.
that job. And last season, Georgia Tech and Central Florida's game was canceled because of Hurricane Irma. The two teams said, well, we would like to have a rematch. And just like baseball, turns out they've got some tight schedules. So last year's football game canceled. It has been rescheduled for September 24th, 2022.
Well, will any of the people still be playing?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No. Well, the stupid ones.
They said it's because of the scheduling. They just cannot find a better time to play, so they will play 5 years to the day.
God, that's crazy.
I kind of hope that one gets canceled too.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations to Daniel in Linwood. Daniel, new Mariners KZOK trivia from last night's Mariners game was Man in the Box by Alice in Chains.
Great song.
They are going to the Jeep winners window in our library to pick up tickets to what, Derek? I forget.
Daniel won tickets for the game on September 8th at 7:10 p.m. versus the New York Yankees, which just happens to be Salute to Latin America Baseball Night.
Salute to Latin America Baseball Night.
The Mariners are set to host the New York Yankees for a huge weekend series beginning Friday, September 7th. Watch Giancarlo Stanton and the Yankees slug it out with Nelson Cruz, Mitch Haniger, and the Mariners. And on the 8th, the Mariners honor the many great contributions the Latin Americans have made in baseball and wear special Marineros uniforms.
Yeah.
Get seats while they last at mariners.com.
So Mariners are at home tonight. Houston Astros, 7:10 start time on Root Sports, which means you'll have another chance to win tickets tomorrow morning right around this same time. And right before that, a little pre-funk action going on. Derek and Tori, what are you guys up to?
We are going to be at Henry's First Avenue Tavern, located directly across the street from Safeco Field. We're going to be there from 5 to 7, hanging out with all of our beautiful fans. And you can come down and have some Tito's and hang out with us.
We also have Foo Fighters tickets.
Ooh,
Oh, wow, very cool.
Not Foo Fighters tickets.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, that is tonight from 5 till 7. Derek and Tori at Henry's First Avenue Tavern right across from Safeco.
Hey, you mentioned Alice in Chains. Are
Yeah.
they scheduled to play the Space Needle tonight?
What day is today?
Tuesday.
No, it's tomorrow night.
Is it tomorrow night? Man, I hope the smoke clears out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Because nobody will be able to see them.
They were at the Mariners game last night. A couple of guys were, and throughout the first pitch.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Which is why that was our trivia song from
Yeah.
last night's game. Gosh,
Makes
we're so
total
cool.
sense.
Cool.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-OA.
For real, do that immediately. As you're seeing, well, make sure your car is in park before you start dialing. But when you see the red lights behind you, you need to call your lawyer at 1-800-DUI-OA. It's a big deal. Your life can get turned upside down, and you don't want any part of that. Call the lawyers that will meet you free of charge in Seattle, Everett, or Tacoma. So if the unfortunate happens to you and you get a DUI, get the lawyer who really wants to work for you. Don't delay. Call 1-800-DUI-OA. That's 1-800-DUI-OA. Guys, those games can't get any better. Huh, you'd be wrong. Stick around till 7:20. Play Put Up Your Dukes and win a $100 gift card to Duke's Seafood and Chowder, which, by the way, happens to be an awesome restaurant.
Oh, the 80s. Things got a little crazy on MTV, and a movie is being made about one of those crazy events. There was a contest. The year was 1986. The contest was Win a Date with Prince. And the way the contest worked was the winner would have this date with Prince in their hometown. And the hometown in this case was Sheridan, Wyoming, and it was pretty difficult because of that. Middle of Nowheresville.
Right?
And this was such a crazy ordeal making it all come together, which it did. And it was supposed to be a great time. Everybody loved it. But a movie's being made about the entire process. You know, because having a date with Prince is not that easy.
I cannot imagine that would be an easy night out for anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what he was like in his personal time, but the way he talks and did interviews would make me nervous. That whispery talk of his, yeah, it just made me really nervous. And then he's always purple. That would make me nervous.
Eddie Murphy's brother did a great bit, a whole bunch of different video clips he did telling stories about hanging out with Prince and playing basketball. He would make people pancakes. Like, I think there was a lot more going on with Prince than just the little whispery guy.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that to be true.
But, you know, it kind of makes you think, gosh, if you could win a date with a musician, I mean, obviously you can't pick Prince now.
I can pick anybody I want.
Who would you pick?
I'm going to go with, because my decisions, and I've made several of them, are then or now. And then, like, around that same year, because I was a young, healthy guy around 85 and stuff. So I would have to go, who I'm going to date? Heart.
Yeah.
The whole band, those
whole band.
Wilson sisters, are you kidding me?
That's good.
That's
the
where I
Wilson
would go.
sisters and the three dudes in the band? Or
If
just...
that's what it takes. No, I care.
Well, I mean, to answer that, with that band, it's then or now. Those ladies still look awesome.
Yeah, but now I'm going to go with Taylor Swift.
Oh.
See how I roll?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would, as long as I'm doing some kind of magic to get there, when I look at Taylor Swift, I want her to look just like Taylor Swift. When she looks at me, I want to be way taller, hotter, and 20 years younger. Because I was be some horrible old guy hitting on her. I want her to want me. Ooh, cheap trick. I wouldn't date them.
See, I was thinking of the here and now, like right now someone says you can have a dream date with anybody, with any musician who's alive, because otherwise I'd be super morbid, I would pick Dave Grohl. And
yeah, that's a good date.
Yeah,
I
he'd be
know he's
fun.
not handsome, and
Why
think
do you
he's
know
handsome
that?
enough.
Yeah, I think he's handsome.
do you do?
Yeah.
Dave Grohl's not handsome, but
Wow, he'll be shocked to learn it.
he has such a great personality that it doesn't matter, and I just think the date would be so much fun.
You think Dave Grohl's so hideous that he's the high school girlfriend that people say, well, don't worry about the fact that she's ugly. She's got a great personality.
Great
That's your Dave
personality.
Grohl?
Let's be honest. Taylor Hawkins is hot. Dave Grohl is just Dave Grohl. He's awesome. He's not a hot dude. Tori, am I
think I'm
right
gonna
on
pick.
this?
I think I'm gonna pick Dave Grohl to
I'm
date because he's so pretty.
Because he said, I'm going to pick Eddie Vedder.
Well, yeah, I pick Eddie Vedder.
Well, I'm going
But-
to pick Eddie Vedder to bother you. So
Oh,
there, I
no.
picked him first.
I was waiting to hopefully pick Taylor Swift just to bother Danny. So.
Yeah.
I'm taking Taylor Hawkins then.
To just make me mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I'm
come full
picking
circle.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
He's not in a band.
How do you know? Why do you think you know everything?
You guys listening, who would be your musical dream date and why? Now, Danny's taken Taylor Swift because why? She's hot.
Yeah, and Hart, because they're hot, and there's two of them.
Who would be your dream musical date and why? Call us now to tell us. 800-252-1025 or text your answer to 90627 now.
A movie is being made about Win a Date with Prince. If you could win a date or just have a date with a musical dream date, who would it be and why? 1-800-252-1025 or text 90627.
Let's start with Paul in Buckley. Who's your musical dream date?
My musical dream date, guys, would be Bonnie Raitt. And why? Well, she's my age. She's been singing for a real long time, and I just like to sit down across the table and talk to her about it.
Right on.
See, yeah, but Paul
That's
dates
nice.
differently than I do.
You just want to have adult relations.
My goal is never to sit down across the table. I will, if that's the trick that it takes to get you up on the table. But I see your point there, Paul. A grown woman with super talent. I'll give you that. Super
Absolutely.
talent.
But that's my answer being Dave Grohl is because I think it would be the best date ever. I think he's just so much fun and the stories he'd have to tell, and we'd probably do something really exciting as opposed to having this date with the hopes of having
Until I
adult
play
relations.
the tape of this segment where you call him ugly like
I
9
didn't
times
say
in a row.
ugly. He's not hot.
That's not, you called him butt ugly.
Yeah,
like
you
That
really
was off
did.
the air, dude.
Shakingly ugly.
Danny,
I'm pretty sure he's not listening at this particular moment.
he might be.
Oh, somebody will definitely send him this
Yeah,
segment.
somebody.
I love Dave Grohl, and I've hung out with him a number of times. He's a total sweetheart. Now he hates me because
I
of you.
love the Elephant Man. I don't want to sleep with him. After that one time.
Darcy in Seattle, who's your current musical dream date and why?
Well, good morning.
Morning.
I have to say my first choice, of course, would be Danny Bonaduce.
Good choice,
But,
Darcy.
I hang out with you every day, so
Right.
So I would say my second choice would be Garth Brooks.
Oh, me too.
You know what? I love that you listen to us and we play Van Halen and Led Zeppelin and all that stuff, but your dream date would be Garth. As far as I can tell, that makes you a very cool kind of girl.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome,
I would
dear.
just think it would be kind of fun to hear about all the experiences he has had, as well as get to hang out with Trisha Yearwood is on top of it.
Yeah,
That was just a bonus.
Literally on top of it if
Bonus.
things go well.
Yeah, both of them. There you
Yeah,
go.
I feel weird. Why am I the only one that wants to have sex with all these idols? Like, you give me the Heart Girls. I don't want to sit across the table. I will afterwards.
Question isn't who do you want to have sex with?
No, it's date. So you guys have a different opinion of the word date than I do.
Good morning, Drama in Renton.
What up, drama?
Morning, y'all.
Morning.
Hey, I'm with you, Danny.
Thank you.
It's about my dating is the same as your dating, and so who I would want to be with, and Sarah, your husband Matt should know them, is the Butcher Babies.
Oh, they're a chick metal band.
Is that right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
And if you guys Google them and click on the images, you'll understand why.
No, I want to date
okay.
them right now because they have the name Butcher in them. I like that. Chicks with the name Butcher.
I love that Dramas is the entire band too. He's not even picking the lead singer. It's the whole
I think,
band.
looking at drama, he probably has the stamina to do the whole band.
Yep.
Oh, they're hot. It looks like it's just a couple of chicks that maybe front the band, and they are smoking hot.
Nice.
Amanda in Packwood, I believe, She says she would date Rob Thomas because he's so dreamy.
Yeah.
Text into 90627. Also, DJ from Puyallup says, I'd date Jewel because she seems so down to earth.
Huh.
She's cute.
You know what? She's
Really
cute. She fixed her tooth.
Yeah.
She
And
did?
I thought, super bad call. Don't do it. People
Wow,
love you
I
and
didn't know that.
and people like her just think she looks adorable, and I still love her.
Oh, and Steve from Port Orchard said, I'm a guy, but I'd love to date John Mellencamp. I grew up listening to him, and I'd love to hang out with him.
Too many cigarettes.
Well, I think he's down to like 1 or 2 a day. Hey, speaking of Jewel, you know that little guitar I brought in here when we were at the other studio?
Yeah.
That was a gift from Jewel.
That's
to
neat.
me.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I was pretty happy about it.
Cheryl in Kent, who is your current musical dream date and why?
Oh, Sarah, may I please say a couple things really fast?
Sure.
I'm so glad your cold is sounding so better. I was really worried about you because I love you guys.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you,
everybody.
Cheryl.
And I knew Danny would say Taylor Swift.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
she's gorgeous. I
She
saw the
is.
one where she's holding up a guitar with her arm up. But anyway, and so I'd like to say that I hope I can say this show is a blessing from God. I found that out
Oh, okay.
at your show. So I hope it's not okay to not okay to say that on the radio.
You can
that's
say whatever
okay.
you
Oh,
want, man. Have you ever listened to
and
the
then I-
show? We
and
say
then I-
stupid stuff all day.
You can say it. Sarah might not ever go to Chick-fil-A again
Right, that's
afterwards.
what I was
but-
thinking.
I thought Danny would pick Keith.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
even though they grew up together, but, you know, to have Keith back. And I'm going to pick Keith, but who I really need to pick was Donald Fagen. I went to the Steely Dan concert, and I kept making a joke with everybody on that. Learn to work the saxophone. And I was so hyped up, and he didn't play that song. I think he explained that his partner, what he was explaining, someone wasn't able to make it.
Yeah.
And he must have meant the saxophonist or something. I was irate. I was
Yeah, me
irate.
too.
And
Yeah.
anyway,
I'll
so
tell
I'm going to
ya.
go on a date with Donald Fagen
all right.
because I found out, like I said, you guys are special, and I found out I get to meet special people. So I'm going to meet Donald Fagen. I'm tell him sorry. I said I'm going to sue him for not playing the song, but then he's going to play me.
Hey, Cheryl, did I meet you out at Henry's?
Yeah, yeah.
I
she-
think that's
I know
who this
you.
is.
She
I know
brought-
you.
she
You're a
brought you a
sweetheart of a
watermelon
girl.
for your
She brought
birthday.
you
She brought me a
watermelon and
big
stroller.
watermelon in a baby carriage,
Yeah,
which was super cool. Well, thank you for calling in. You can say anything you want on this here radio
Yes,
show.
We love
we're
Cheryl.
big fans of Cheryl. Holy smokes.
Literally. Holy
Yeah, smoke.
Who would be your dream musical date and why? Don in Tacoma.
Oh, it would be Joan Jett, and I've just been listening to her for years, and I really like her music.
Are you going to see the documentary that's coming out about her?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
and it
didn't
looks
know.
really good. And she like narrates the whole thing. She's down with like the good parts, the bad parts, the ugly parts. She's in it. You definitely want to check that out when that shows up, Don. I think it'll be this year.
Hank and Squim, what do you think?
Well, I'd like to date Ariana Grande.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's super hot. I love her music. And I
Really?
would hope that our date had a happy ending.
I would hope that your date had a happy ending. Now, when Ariana Grande first came on my radar, I looked at her and I went, "Oh my goodness, great!" And then I looked at her again and went, "Oh, she's 12. You
She
can't
looks
have
super
these.
young.
She
You
still
can't
looks
have these kind of
that
thoughts
young.
about her. She looks 12 years old." And then she kind of disappeared off my radar for a little while. And then she showed up 5 years later. So when she should have been 18, she still looked 12 years old. So it's creepy to be as hot for her as some of us grown men are. But the fact remains, we are.
Lisa in Tacoma, who's your dream musical date?
Well, that would be the love of my life, Jackson Brown.
Interesting choice. He's
Interesting
got-
choice. I would not have picked Mr. Brown.
I would not. I think he's had a couple dates that didn't go all that well.
Yeah,
according to the
Didn't he
allegations.
clock Daryl Hannah right in the
That's
head?
the rumor.
That is the
Yeah.
rumor. But, I didn't know what to say after that. If it was hitting a girl, you can't make jokes.
Allison and Edmonds, who is your musical dream date?
Well, I have always wanted to be the bologna in a Nikki Sixx and John Bon Jovi sandwich.
She wants to be the bologna.
First of
in the
all,
sandwich.
a third of that sandwich is totally gross. And that'd be the Nikki Sixx third. But he's a great businessman and stuff. Maybe he cleans up night. And who am I to deny Allison her night out? Okay,
That's
you get him.
right.
I want you to know I'm going to call them both. I want to say get involved in this.
Brent in Port Townsend, who are you picking to go on your dream musical date with?
Hey, good morning, Sarah, guys. Listen, I would go with Cher because she'd make me look young for like eternity.
Not if she could turn back time.
Yo,
What the
Olivia.
hell impression were you doing? Mine was
doing
terrible.
Cher. What were you doing?
Yours was two impressions with Dave Grohl's The Faces.
Yo, and Olympia says Paul McCartney. Andy in Tacoma says Arlo Guthrie. James in Bothell says Shania Twain.
Yeah.
Paul,
yeah.
who are you picking?
Then and now Gwen Stefani, who looks exactly the same
Exactly
now
the same.
as she did then. Super hot. Had a crush on her when I was younger, and still have a crush on her.
Just
And
for the
she
conversation,
She
right?
seems really good. Yeah, just to talk. Yeah. we're just
Yeah,
gonna
I want to
hang
sit
out.
across the table from her.
Yeah.
Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
I always had a thing for Pat Benatar.
I'll take Neil Giraldo.
Yeah. Oh, good. We're in. We're like twinsies.
Or Giraldo. Wait,
He
what's the
doesn't
other
care.
guy's-
Geraldo.
Geraldo. Thanks for all your calls and texts. It is now time to play the game that is sweeping the nation. Put up your dukes.
Put up your dukes.
You can win a 100 DC on 102.5 KZOK, where we are playing Put Up Your Dukes. It's for your chance to win a $100 gift card to Duke's Seafood and Chowder. Now, we know that Danny would fight any of the Osmonds. He'd fight a mountain lion and most baby animals.
And he'd win in all those
Thank
scenarios,
you.
I
Thank
think.
you. That's important.
Well, in order for you guys to win, you will have to tell us who he is challenging this time to put up their dukes. Carrie in Tukwila is our contestant this
Good
morning.
morning, Carrie. How the hell are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Well, thank you for asking. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Most of the time.
And do you understand the rules of the game?
Yes.
Then let's get to it. Put up your dukes if you're one of the originators of the big band jazz, an American composer, pianist, and band leader who wrote thousands of scores over his 50-plus year career. This guy gained fame through his orchestra's appearance at the Cotton Club in Harlem, and he was a pivotal figure in American history of music. Can you tell us who I want to put up their dukes?
Duke Ellington, maybe?
Right off the
That's
bat.
correct,
wow.
Carrie.
Nicely done, man.
Nice job, Carrie. You are going to the cheap winners window in our lobby to get your $100 gift card to Duke's Seafood and Chowder. Voted best restaurant and best seafood restaurant in 2018. Duke's knows seafood. Happy hour daily from 3 till 6 and 9 till close. You guys join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for another exciting round of Put Up Your Dukes. And next, the big news of the day.
And the big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
Well, ready for this story? This is a little crazy.
All right.
Millennials are about to be surpassed by Generation Z. Gen Z will comprise 32% of the global population next year, 7.7 billion of them, nudging ahead of millennials, who will account for just 31% of the share.
There's 7.7 billion of something?
Yeah.
What?
This is people who were born in 2001 that turn 18 next year, meaning they can go to college, they can vote, they can smoke or drink alcohol depending on their citizenship, and they have never known a non-digital world. They don't know things like
How to
recession.
speak to me and look me in the eyes?
Yeah. They said the Gen Z is the next big thing.
Are they predicting an apocalypse?
Because we have way too many people on planet Earth?
No, because when do you go after Z? So we've got these guys and those guys, and now
Oh,
Generation Y, and then X, and now Z. That's it.
You got to
Well, we
go
had
double A.
millennials.
We go back to double A.
Well, you were A, but no, you got to start the alphabet over and go double A.
Aardvark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Generation
Aardvark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So they're 32% of the population?
Yep.
Wow.
At only 7 billion, that means there's 21
No,
billion.
7 billion is the whole
world.
global population.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
7.6, 7.7.
Yeah.
7.7. 32% will next year be Gen Z. Pesky kids, get off my lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Barack Obama is out with his summer reading list.
Do I care? He's a has-been. Well, no, think about it. He's when people were calling me a has-been and they weren't being as fun-minded as you guys. I kind of wondered what that is. And does that mean you had a job that was super important and you'll never get a job that important again? And they said, yeah. And I went, okay, this guy's a has-been. So now, do I care about his reading list now
I
that
think
he's,
so.
he's like one of the Brady Bunch to me?
I mean, do you view Bill Clinton as a has-been?
Totally.
Oh, I don't. I don't
Well,
think.
but what
That's
it depends on your.
disrespectful of our presidents.
First of all, he's not a president. He's out of a job.
They're
He
always
may
called
be-
Yeah, they're
president.
Mr. President.
They're
for the rest
Mr.
of their
President,
life,
but
yeah.
he doesn't have a job. I'm just saying, if a has-been is somebody who has a job that they'll never fill that something that important again, then all ex-presidents are has-been. All the ex-Beatles are has-beens.
Well, I don't agree with that, but I mean, that's up to you on whether or not you care about Barack Obama's reading list. I'm going to tell you what they are anyway, because we've told our listeners we're going to.
I think you can still care about Paul McCartney, even though he's a has-been.
But he's has. So, okay, yeah, totally. He's my favorite has-been, probably.
Because he has been a Beatle, and now he's not.
That's exactly right. Thank you for being willing to listen to reason.
A book called Educated by Tara Westover, a remarkable memoir of a young woman raised in a survivalist family in Idaho who strives for an education while trying to show an understanding of the world she is leaving behind.
All right, I like it.
This is next up is something called Warlight, Michael Ondaatje. Set after World War II, this book is a meditation on the lingering effects of war on family. V.S. Naipaul, a lot of people talking about this author, a lot of people talking about this book, and this guy just died. A House for Mr. Biswas. Obama said he reread this because of his death. It's a novel about growing up in Trinidad and the challenge of a post-colonial identity.
That is a lovely story and a lovely book, but when you say everybody's talking about it, by everybody you mean no one I ever met.
Right.
Well, he won a Nobel Prize, so I'm guessing a lot of people are familiar.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just saying in my circle of friends. Paul, are you talking about that book?
I'm not. I'm not rereading that book this summer.
Again, he's walk yourself through that one more time.
Was enough for me.
An American Marriage by Tayari Jones, a moving portrayal of the effects of a wrongful conviction on a young African-American couple. And Factfulness, a book by Hans Rosling, an outstanding international public health expert. And this is a book about human progress and trying to get through our inherent biases.
It's a real page turner. Sounds like some
heavy
great
books.
So yeah, not exactly by the pool reading or beach reading for sure.
Every year when Obama comes out with his reading list, though, it's like this.
Yeah.
You know what it's like for me is Oprah's reading list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to read her whole reading list. She's a crazy show-off liar. But some of the books always sound like they're going to be really important to me. And I read them, and they usually are. She usually picks of the books of hers that I choose to read, they've all been pretty good.
My husband was reading this V.S. Naipaul book before the dude died and said it's all about the caste system in Trinidad and that these people aren't very nice to each other and that you could come from a family that 100 years ago somebody did something wrong and you are still not accepted into society. So, Danny, your grandfather or great-grandfather killed someone with his cart.
Two someones.
Then you would not have been on the Partridge Family. You wouldn't be on the radio. That is something your family did that long ago would still affect you to this day.
In my world, which is the Italian world and especially the Sicilian world, there's portions where you cannot find a young man on the island of Sicily up until recently because they'd all get killed in vendettas. Somebody'd say something to somebody's grandfather and they just keep killing each other. So you are absolutely right, young lady.
On to Spain, where we are now finding out that their pigs are outnumbering the human population.
Is that bad?
This is for the first time ever. There are more pigs than humans. The problem is,
They're going to change the food chain order. The pigs will start eating the people.
And there's a breed of pigs that will eat people right now, right?
If they're hungry enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that pigs have waste and that can be pretty detrimental to the
environment.
It impacts the water system. And the good news is that this is, people who want to eat pork, which the Spaniards do, they eat about 46 pounds of pork every year. They love their pork.
All Spaniards.
Spaniards.
Yeah.
46 pounds of pork a year.
Because I don't eat that much, but that's my number one yummy meat. But maybe 10 pounds if I'm lucky. And then I get all backed up. It's a lot of pork, man.
Well, you don't have to eat it your year's portion in one sitting.
Well, thanks for telling me that, man.
You can spread it out.
Well, that's good news for bacon lovers. Y'all like bacon and what's the stuff called? You slice real thin and it looks sort of like cooked bacon, but it's mushy.
Do you really not know the name?
I'm blanking on the name.
I don't know the name.
Pancetta?
Hamon. Hamon is like
not pancetta.
It's a ham.
It's the best thing in Spain, really.
Yeah, but what do we call it here?
Ham.
No, that then is prosciutto.
Prosciutto. Right.
I hate all you people.
Why would we call it something in Italian rather than call it something in Spanish?
When we go to the store, you buy prosciutto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
All right. Good talk. Mickey Mouse anniversary, 90th anniversary.
He looks good.
He does
He
look
does,
good.
really.
Hasn't aged a day.
He should have an ear lift. Starting to sag.
Now a lot of people are celebrating. They say you don't need to go to Orlando or to California. Instead, you could go to the grocery store and get yourself some Disney ice cream.
All right.
3 different pints, the Mickey Mouse collection, and they're different homages being paid to Disney and to Mickey. Triple Chocolate Surprise is a tribute to Steamboat Willie, the black and white days. It's black and white chocolate.
I'm confident I just watched a porn named that. Really? Yeah.
Steamboat Willie.
No, Triple Chocolate Surprise.
Oh, okay.
The
Either one, I think, would be a good porn
think so.
title.
The Confetti Celebration Pint, Mickey will be taking the form of white chocolate candies filled with lemon cream surrounded by sweet ice cream and confetti cake bites.
Yeah. Yes, followed by total yes, and then yes some more.
Also, I think only Danny and I could have turned your Mickey Mouse ice cream story into porn.
No problem at all.
Trying to pretend it's not happening.
Easy to do.
Peanut Butter Jamboree. Did you watch that one yesterday? on your
Yes, I
computer?
did.
This is inspired by Walt Disney World's
I would
Country
watch that one.
Bear Jamboree, peanut butter and jelly ice cream. You
It
people
must be
ruin,
jelly because jam don't shake like that.
you people ruin everything.
What do you mean, you people?
Whole Foods is where you'll be able to buy those. If you missed it earlier in the show, this certainly is big news today. The Seattle Seahawks are parting ways with punter John Ryan.
It's a bummer. He seemed like, besides being, a great punter, seemed like just a really great guy.
Yep. They have also released kicker Jason Myers, and you will be missed. John Ryan sent out a really nice tweet to the 12s and to the organization.
Is he going to another football team?
Yeah, we'll see. He might.
Because one of his Twitter things, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, I will always be a Seahawk. Going to bite him right in the butt if he goes to Philadelphia.
I think somebody will pick him up. I mean, he's still really, really good.
If he wants to. He might have called it a career.
Yeah.
It does seem like he is not retiring because of his tweet saying wherever I go. It does seem like that. I mean, we can't predict what some other teams are going to do, but I'm sure somebody needs him. That's the big news of the day, which is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE or online, goldbergjones.com.
Yeah, there's more. You kidding me? Coming right up. It's Sarah's Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. 89 under partly cloudy skies today. Let me part my lips and tell you what's in store for the next few days. Is your cup gonna be half empty or half full? My cup is at D. Good news, bad news.
Just one in the middle?
86er tomorrow. But later in the week, well, you gotta come down after being up for so long. It would be hard on you to find us.
Come on!
But tomorrow, 69's on the menu.
Really?
Lots of heat pressed right up against you. Look at those pokies. Ooh, penetrating rays of sunshine. Oh, and you'll feel them right through that tiny tank top. Thong Thursday should be a good one. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I'll show you mine.
With the best weather front in Seattle, I'm Sarah.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
The weather's going to be hard on you. I heard it. I heard that. I heard it was crazy.
I'm not even sure you can say that on the radio.
Followed by you real fast. You're going to be all right. Hey, let's talk about the iHeartRadio app. It's a totally cool thing. It's all your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. KZOK and iHeartRadio giving you a weekly mixtape, a personal playlist based on your music that you love. The more you thumb up and save songs, it'll improve and update your mixtape. Just open up the iHeartRadio app and find yours now. I am proud to say that I work for iHeartRadio. A big company, does a lot of things right, but I'll tell you this. Some of the biggest names in music are going to take the stage for the Radio Music Festival. It's happening September 21st and 22nd. We'd like to send you to Las Vegas to see that show on us. Just listen for the key word and then text that word to 200-200 for your shot to win this trip for two. It's awesome. Your next chance to text and win happens in less than 10 minutes.
We've all noticed food trends. It's kind of hard to miss if you ever go out to eat. Kale was everywhere.
Right. Brussels sprouts is still clinging to hang on.
And the cauliflower rice, that was a real big food trend.
Because you're selling it, especially, say, here in Seattle, to a healthy, young population. And most of pork belly is a slab of fat that you have to get around. I eat the whole thing. Some people cut it off, but it was never good for you.
No,
it was just delicious.
But the latest kind of odd food trend, odd to some, is collagen, getting more collagen in your food. So they sell it in powders, there's pills. There's
the kind my ex-wife has pumped into her lips?
It's all sorts of different components that are supposed to help stimulate collagen growth and try to help you look younger. So one of my friends
What if, like me, you weren't very attractive when you were younger? Why would you bother with all this?
Athletes are using it, too, for joint health, mostly.
I've heard about that, right.
One of my buddies is Korean and said when you go travel to places in Korea and throughout Asia, you are going to see the most beautiful women in the world eating the most disgusting things because they'll eat very fatty bits of the animal to get the collagen. So they'll suck out all around the bones and everything to get more collagen because it's supposed to help you look younger and be healthier.
All right.
So they're trying to figure out now how to get it without having to eat that gross stuff. So people are spending a lot of money because it's expensive buying the collagen, but that's just the new trend. And people are spending $122 million per year to try to look younger with collagen.
But collagen that you eat, because the collagen, and I'm not, harping on this young lady. She has every right to do this. But my ex-wife lips, the tiny little lips, the little baby lips. And then she shot the collagen and they were like $8,000 each or something crazy like that. So that collagen stuff can be expensive.
Yeah, two different markets. This is just additives for food and drink that people. That's just in the U.S. It's a multi-million-dollar, $122
million.
Yeah.
Yep. And to some it's all about their health, but to others I think like that's a pretty expensive habit.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of expensive. I've quit a bunch of expensive habits, but I still have one. All my deep cable channels. I don't watch them. I don't need them. I need basic cable for $22 a month or whatever the hell it is. And my cable bill's at least $200 a month for crap I don't need, but I'm addicted. I've got to have all the channels, whether I watch them or not. It's just a thing. And I think a lot of Americans suffer from that. If my neighbors have 6 million channels, I need 6,000,009.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it, Danny. I'm asking you if there's an expensive habit you have, an expensive hobby, expensive habit, and you say your cable. I just realized I'm the same. I pay for the baseball package, which is really expensive. Then I pay for Red Zone for football, and I buy the hockey package. I have a really expensive TV habit.
You have a very expensive TV habit.
My sports addiction, I had no idea it was this out of control. You guys listening, do you have an expensive habit or an expensive hobby? What is it? Call us now. Tell us. 800-252-1025 or text in 90627.
All right, usually I have a firm grip on the trends as they're going. I had no idea Americans are spending $122 million a year on special food additives that they think will keep them young. Do you have an expensive hobby or habit? 1-800-252-1025 or text 90627.
Good morning to Dave in Olympia.
Hiya, Dave.
Yeah, hi. I build motorized bicycles.
What does that mean? You take normal bicycles and attach some kind of power plant or what?
Yeah.
Neat. I like that.
Expensive.
I've seen, but it's got to be crazy expensive.
I've gone is 35 miles an hour.
Nice. How much does it cost you to build one bike?
About $600 to $800.
That's not bad. That's not the end of the world, man. All right, thanks, Dave.
That sounds like fun, too.
By the way, when we said, does anybody have an expensive habit, I'd have paid $50 for a nun to call. It made me laugh, but nothing. Sister Petrillo ain't listening.
They don't have to pay for the habit, do they?
No, but I'd have given $50 to their charity or something.
Farmer Ted in Seattle, do you have an expensive habit or hobby?
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
We're great, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Stuck in traffic as usual.
As usual. So what's your expensive hobby or habit?
Well, my wife is a wine drinker, so I got a habit and actually a hobby that equals her wine drinking. I build RC hydroplanes.
Oh, because I saw on the phone screen it says that you do hydroplanes. I went, well, they're $1 million, but you do radio-controlled hydroplanes.
Yeah, and they're about $1,000 to $1,200 a boat.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's outlandish.
She must be drinking some good wine if they're on equal playing fields there.
When I was growing up in the San Fernando Valley, you know what was really popular? RC airplanes. There was this place in the valley where you could take them off and land them, and you'd see dozens of people, and those things were a couple of $1,000s. And they'd crash them all the time.
Jeez. Brad in Kenmore, do you have an expensive hobby or habit?
I do indeed. Photography seems to keep my wallet empty.
Now, I always wondered about this because every now and again I see, what do you got, a Nikon F?
I've got a Canon 5D Mark IV and a Canon 7D.
So it's all right, I was close. But anyway, I always wondered, what's that guy doing with all that equipment? Nobody uses that equipment anymore. But if you want professional pictures taken of somebody or something, you still use a professional camera, right?
That's
You don't
right.
use your phone?
No, I mean, they say you can use your iPhone, but let's be honest. That's the, Seattle Times when they're going to, show the winning play at the plate. Are they shooting it on an iPhone or on a professional camera?
No, but on the news, they often run iPhone footage of traffic jams, fires, things like that. So those things are getting good. But I like a real live camera, Brad. I think you stick with it.
We are asking if you've got an expensive habit or an expensive hobby. A lot of people have the habit of buying food with added collagen to the tune of $122 million per year.
Crazy.
What about you, James and Everett? Do you have an expensive hobby?
Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, sweetheart. What's up?
Yeah, mine is ship models, just like Farmer Dave, RC, hydroplanes, but mine are plastic and wood, and they can run into the thousands.
Yeah, I did on my last vacation. Somebody, I forget what it was. I think it was in Paris. There was a pond, as big as a football field maybe, and they would for $5 rent you a boat, and they just crashed all day. And I thought this could not be a money-making proposition.
Rob in Louisville, what's your expensive hobby?
Well, after buying the food and the beer and renting a cart, my golf game gets pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Having never played a game of golf, let's say you get up in the morning and you drive, and everything after that is expensive. How much does it cost you to have a single round of golf, including fees or whatever?
About $35 where I go.
Wow, that's
actually the cheapest place. There's places that you can spend up to $150 for 18 holes.
Hey, well, let's not go there, Rob. Let's go to your place and spend $35. But I wondered how much that was.
Yeah, it's an expensive habit.
Plus,
hobby.
you don't have the clubs yet, and the stupid clothes you need to wear.
Stupid clothes. Those are cute clothes.
Yeah, I want to see Rob in his stupid clothes. I'll laugh all day, Rob.
Dale in Tacoma.
You're only saying that because you were terrible at golf. Had it worked out, you would love the outfits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you kidding?
You'd wear them to work every single day.
I surrender completely. That's exactly what would happen.
Good morning, Dale in Tacoma.
Yeah, I spend a lot of money on guns and ammo.
Now, don't you make your own ammo?
No.
Are you shooting at someone right now?
We do have some listeners who do make their own ammo, but that's extremely time-consuming and potentially dangerous.
Yeah. But why else do it?
To save the money. That's why they do it.
Right, but I mean, if there's not some level of danger to doing something, why bother to even do it?
Right.
You ever go golfing with Rob? No, you haven't. He'll hit you right in the head with a club.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying do it because it's dangerous.
Partly because. Don't quit because it's dangerous.
Jerry in Granite Falls, your expensive hobby or habit?
Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies.
I've had a spot for my big mouth to run on all of this. I don't understand Bitcoin at all. I don't get it even a little bit, what it is, how it works. Some people got real rich in it last year.
It's speculation. I mean, you are hoping that the price goes up from what you bought it. It's like playing with the stock market.
Right, but I think it's different enough because it's also exactly like the price of gold, and you buy actual coins.
Right.
Yet I don't think that's what it's like with these crazy Bitcoins.
Or like with the stock market, like those are actual companies that exist. I could go there and see it, but this is something virtual.
Right, which is why some people say it's too volatile and you shouldn't be playing with it at all.
Yeah, that's what they say about everything. You should have heard them in 1929. They wouldn't shut up.
How many people have you heard or overheard say, "Oh man, if I just hung on to my Bitcoin for another month, I'd be a billionaire"?
Never anyone.
Oh, that's. I guess it's just not the circles.
You heard somebody say it?
No, I've heard people talk about how great Bitcoin is, but not of the untold millions that they
Or
that
just
they
in
make.
general, I've never heard anybody outside this room discuss Bitcoins. But I know very few people, though.
There are a handful of people that work in the building, in the hallway, and they're always talking to people about Bitcoin and how
Yeah.
great it is.
You
But
gotta
I
get
still
in.
don't understand it at all.
I understand it.
And I think it was something you wanted to get into 4 years ago,
Right,
5 years
exactly.
ago.
Ron and Renton, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Danny Bonaduce?
Very well. Thank you for asking. What do you got for us?
I own a motocross team. I sponsor my son and his friend, but due to my son's broken back, he's not racing right now.
Now, will your son heal?
Oh, yeah, he'll be back on the bike in about 3 months.
Is there any
Got
money
two
in
guys
this, or
in
do
him
you,
rods.
do you just lose your shirt every season? Is there any money in motocross these days?
Well, if you make it big time, there is.
All right.
Hey, Ron, how many
but-
bones has your son broken?
Just one is back.
Wow, that's impressive. Most of the time they've got
Yeah,
10
Breaking
broken
your back
bones.
is a pretty big deal,
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
I
it wasn't
broke
a
my
finger
back.
and things.
Yeah.
I've broken all my fingers at least once, but I never broke my back.
I broke my back and it still isn't healed up, Ron. Good luck to your kid.
Oh,
wow.
That's true. Brent in Port Townsend, what is your expensive hobby or habit?
Always the upgrade. I always want the nicest hotel room with the biggest shark tank, everything in the bar. Got to restock it the next day. It's terrible.
For real, that's how you roll at hotels, like what, 4-star hotels?
Well, we like the Nugget, because it has the shark tank pool and you get to gamble poolside.
All right.
But he's saying he upgrades the room, so you could get a base room for X dollars, but then he's got to go for the penthouse.
Right.
He's
I
got
was
to raid
just
the
wondering-
minibar.
Because I have rules against it, because the hotel rooms have gone through the roof. I have
Yeah.
rules. What does your good hotel room cost you there, Brent?
We spend $250 sometimes.
I'm with you. Okay, I'll spend that. I'll spend $250 on a nice room.
What about Ray calling from Mount Lake Terrace, your expensive hobby?
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people? What up?
I have vintage cars.
You going to tell me what you got, or are you just going to brag?
Oh, yeah. I got 69 Roadrunner.
Yeah.
68 Charger RT.
Yeah.
71 Charger RT.
Oh, he's got some money.
Unfair
in now.
judge. Yeah. What do you have? $200,000, $250,000 round up in those cars?
I have nine cars.
The Roadrunner at all's got to be $150,000, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, I was on display right next to you at the Greenwood Car Show.
Oh, yeah.
very cool.
That was a great car show. So, Ray, as soon as we put you on hold, I'm going to get your address, mug you, and steal at least 3 of your cars. Those are just some great cars he mentioned. Thanks,
Hi,
Ray.
Dave in Federal Way.
Half a day from Guam, guys. Good morning.
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 Hey, I want to send prayers out to the families on Guam first for getting hammered by that typhoon Cimarron out there, beating everybody's ass back home.
Is that true? I didn't know that. Well, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
I will send my prayers out there.
Yeah, we were just about to go there, too.
You should go. Half a day from Guam, guys. But hey, expensive hobby. Putting away money for my daughter's college is about $20,000 every year, and she's going to UW right now. And half a day from Guam is broke, guys.
Half a day is broke, guys.
Thanks for all the calls and texts. We have a lot of shows still to come, including the news, which is next. News is brought to you by Johnson RV. This morning, a man tried to steal a multi-million-dollar yacht from Seattle's Chandler Cove.
Oh, yeah. This was weird.
Yeah, this news was breaking when the show first started this morning, and not a lot of information was out. What we do know now is that this was a 92-foot yacht called the New Atlantic. This was 4:30 in the morning when the man tried to steal the boat, got onto the boat, was able to maneuver it, so to speak. He rammed several other boats that were moored on Lake Union as he attempted to turn the boat around.
Which I lived on a 40-foot boat for a while, and I could not turn it around within a channel. It was just such a big deal to turn those boats around.
Well, this was a yacht that has been listed with an asking price of $2.4 million. And the thief was trying to get the boat maneuvered, but police arrived at the scene. He jumped into Lake Union, where police then pulled him out, took him to Harborview for evaluation. And he only was on the boat for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but did some damage.
Yeah.
Anything you do on a $2.5 million boat, everything you do, touching it, looking at it, damages it in some way, and the price goes down.
A suspected DUI crash blocked several lanes of southbound I-5 in the heart of Seattle during the start of this morning's commute. A driver rear-ended another driver under the convention center, pushing that car into the barrier on the left side of the freeway. The driver of the struck car was taken to Harborview for treatment of a possible broken leg. The driver of the causing car was not injured. The causing driver was arrested for investigation of vehicular assault and DUI.
You know, I often say, how do people crash? Why don't you just go the speed and not hit the car in front of you? So without any more information than we just got, I feel like we should all be able to go to that wreck and punch the causing driver right in the face. Because you know what he's doing? He's trying to get to work faster than everybody. He's weaving in and out of lanes. That guy stopped traffic by thinking he had to be at work more importantly than the guy he hit had to be at work. I'm mad at that guy.
And the union representing Washington State construction engineers and heavy equipment operators went on strike this morning after its members rejected a new contract yesterday. The International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 302, started their strike at 6 o'clock this morning. Mechanics, surveyors, stationary engineers, all different facets of construction on strike. Now, this strike does hit Seattle as we top the nation for the third year in a row as a city with the most tower cranes in the air.
It's crazy.
Well,
Because my house went down on the Zillow's estimate, by the way.
Oh, really?
I look at that thing all the time.
Yeah.
And it went down by like close to 10%. Now,
oh my gosh.
the Zillow is known to be wrong. They don't know anything about my house or anything like that. But it bothered me. I said, people are still moving to Seattle, are they not? And those cranes, believe it or not, make me feel comfort. Because that's most every dollar I have in the world is tied up in that house.
Yeah.
People are still moving here, but more and more people are choosing to rent. And they're saying that the real estate market for home sales and the value, at least, may have hit its peak. And,
Yeah, I assumed it's hit its peak. But I thought that last year, too. But yeah, I would agree with that.
A Stage 1 burn ban went into effect yesterday in King, Kitsap, Pierce, and Snohomish counties because of unhealthy levels of wildfire smoke. Health officials issued the ban to reduce any additional harm from outdoor burning. So that includes barbecue grills that use charcoal, campfires, bonfires, fire pits, chimeneas, fire bowls, and if you have a natural gas or propane grill, those are okay.
Good, because I think I'm actually, although I don't feel like going outside to grill the steak, Amy bought a $22 steak.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
I hope we're splitting it. And it isn't even that big. Crazy $22. You know what it is? It's your rat bastard friends at Met Market.
I'm sorry.
That's what it is.
I'm sorry I introduced you to my
Totally.
rat bastard
Why don't you
friends
just
at
turn
Met
me on to
Market.
your heroin dealer?
Yeah, I have a tri-tip roast that I was going to cook up. I guess I'm going to pretend that I have a gas grill.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I'm not going to use my chimenea, though, or have a bonfire. So.
Well, the chimeneas I love, but they're mostly for warmth. I mean, they look awesome,
And barely for that, to be honest with
but
you.
it's going to be almost 90 today. Why
Right.
would you need to light your chimenea?
You wouldn't.
I think she's asking you. Are you asking me? I don't have a
I'm
chimney.
not asking anybody. It's rhetorical.
That's my favorite song from Mary Poppins.
Yeah, how does that one go?
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chimney, manu.
That's exactly
That's
how
how
it
it
goes.
goes.
Well, if you are outdoors at all in Western Washington, you are well aware of the smoke in the air. Well, it's all throughout our state. In Spokane, they too are having extreme air problems because of the fires, mainly from Canada. So a lot of our smoke in the air is from Canada, the
Bastards.
wildfires.
The good news is it's worth less. A pound of their smog is worth only like 7 ounces of ours.
Why didn't we get that wall put up? We could stop it at the border.
Get the wall. That's what I say.
There's a Facebook event scheduled to take place Friday, and it's been organized by a Spokane resident named Caleb Moon. And he is asking the population of Spokane, which is about 550,000 people, to place at least 5 box fans on their roofs, turn them onto their highest setting, and aim them at northeastern Canada, and said, let's blow the smoke back to Canada.
So is this person an idiot?
I kind of like him.
I like the idea, just it wouldn't work, would it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not
see, then the guy's an idiot.
If everybody got 5 box fans all at the same time, it still wouldn't work.
Still wouldn't work. He
I've
was
got one or two of my fans to blow, but it will not get the smoke out of this area.
And let's see what else is making news this morning.
I don't know, man.
I still think it could work. 500,000 people, 5 box fans apiece. That's like a lot of box fans.
It's also making a bunch of money for the box fan company.
Oh, yeah. Home Depot's loving it.
A man who authorities believe is the last known Nazi collaborator living in the United States has been arrested and deported to Germany. Now, at the order of Donald Trump, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents removed 95-year-old Jawi Palij from his Queens, New York home. And he, according to the Justice Department, served as an armed guard at a death camp in Nazi-occupied Poland and later lied to American immigration officials about his role.
So coming into America, he didn't say I work at a slaughterhouse for human beings.
It sounds like this was a really bad dude. And 95, he's not in good shape.
Right.
They had to physically pick him up and move him out of the home. And he just moaned and screamed the whole time as if he was in pain. But he is being deported to Germany for his crimes.
So if you want to catch Nazis, can you still go to Brazil?
Well, think about it. This dude's 95. Right. We're getting to the point where there are not a lot of them left.
Right, and there's no crime in being the child of a Nazi. You didn't.
No, I mean, if you were a Nazi youth, you might be prosecuted.
I still think but you'd still be 100 years old.
Yeah, probably in your 80s or 90s.
Yeah,
but
so I don't know what we can do, but I mean, all those Nazis split to Brazil in U-boats and stuff like that after World War II.
And now that they're 100 years old, they got to be easier to catch, right?
I would
they're
think.
Slow.
Sure.
Recreational marijuana laws are quickly becoming more and more lax in states around the United States, but Florida is not one of them. And some people are wondering, why does the Tampa Police Department so often smell of weed? The Tampa Bay Times decided...
The actual cops or like the building?
The building itself. And outside, inside, if you go to the police station in Tampa, all you smell is weed.
I've been to a couple police stations in Florida. I don't know about Tampa.
According to the police chief, they have a ventilation problem. The evidence room, which frequently plays home to a lot of weed, especially following grow house busts, they said that the evidence room is often overflowing. The smell is pungent, and there's no way to contain it. You can't just keep it in the evidence room. It wafts.
And you can't go out and burn it, I guess, until somebody goes to court over the evidence.
Exactly. They said at times it's really bad. So the entire police station smells like weed.
Yeah, I don't believe them.
You think it's just all the cops in there smoking pot?
They're smoking personally if they're burning it in the backyard because they're mad. But I don't believe a bunch of packaged marijuana and you're locked up in your evidence room smells on the street.
Yeah.
Somebody's making something up.
A woman caught on a Jacksonville restaurant surveillance video taking a donation jar had a good excuse, so she thought.
All right.
So we've all seen the donation jar at the cash register, right?
Yeah, give a penny, take a few pennies.
Not that one. The one that says, help little Steve's cat who needs a
Oh, I never
treatment.
believe those. I always assume it's the clerk and they just put it out there as like a tip thing.
Well, you could probably relate to the crime perpetrator then.
Yeah, probably.
This is a terrible, terrible need for a donation jar.
All right.
A little 7-year-old was killed, and the donation jar was for the family to pay for funeral costs.
Oh, jeez.
So this woman goes up to the cash register to pay for her coffee and donut, swipes the jar, and when police were able to track her down, she said, "Come on, man, I need it more than they do. I have a crack cocaine addiction to handle."
Well, that'll do it. And kind of answers our question, does anybody still smoke crack? Apparently, yes.
Yeah, that
lady
does,
right there does.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
More than 45,000 pounds of onions were burnt to a crisp yesterday after a semi-trailer tipped over and caught fire. The semi rounded a curve. The onions shifted, causing the entire truck to flip over. As it flipped, it caught fire and became engulfed. No word on whether people showed up with sandwich buns and some sausages, but they said the smell was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess so. But you can't. I don't think you could eat that stuff. It burnt. The something is burning. It's not just magic.
Yeah.
It's fuel of some kind. I don't think those yums are yummy.
There was also a tractor trailer that flipped carrying milk. Did you cry? Milk all over the roadway?
No,
Did you cry, Danny, over the spilt milk?
No, I didn't. But I hear you shouldn't, though.
No, you should not supposed
No,
to.
that's what I heard. You can't cry over spilled milk.
Chicago area has a really cute cat up for adoption.
Really?
It is a portly Russian blue, very beautiful, rare cat, a Russian blue. Only this cat is very portly. 25 pounds.
That's big.
It's a big cat.
And video and pictures of Bruno has gone viral because not only is he super fat, but he likes to stand on his hind legs.
Oh, yeah. I saw this guy. He's crazy.
He's crazy. He is so fat.
How fat is he?
He has to stand on his back legs with his belly then draped all over the floor, which is how he stands up so easily.
Wow.
So he's also polydactyl. He's got huge number
They're
of...
extinct.
Not a pterodactyl.
He can fly?
He's
That's crazy.
polydactyl.
Then I don't think they technically fly as much as they glide, but I'm not sure.
But he's up for rescue.
I'll rescue him right now. How do I get him?
Do you want him because he's fat or because he can stand on his hind legs?
Yes.
This cat would die if they put him with you, Danny. Because you're feeding him like pastrami.
No, I'd feed him till he exploded.
Yeah,
but he would have the best life till he exploded.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's so cute.
Well, he's up for adoption now.
I walked by a young lady's cubicle out here, going to the kitchen or something. And as I walked back, I could see all these adorable cats on her screen. And I said, "Hey, Becky, what's up with those cats?" And as I said it, she clicked it off the screen. Went, "Huh? What? No, you've got the wrong guy. I want to see the cats. Can you bring the cats back?" There's some adorable cats on her screen.
Well, yeah, a lot of people watching the videos of this cat. And I mean, the cat itself is super cute, but I'd imagine it needs to go on a bit of a diet.
No. You ever seen the little wiener dogs that get so fat their legs don't hit the ground?
Yeah.
I want one of them.
And police say they saw a man passed out at a McDonald's drive-thru, walked up to the vehicle, tap, tap, wake up. Couldn't wake up. The dude was out cold. Well, they had to help him, and in doing so, they discovered 96 grams of meth inside the glove box.
That's a fair amount of meth. That's 3 ounces, I guess, right around there anyway.
Aren't you supposed to stay up when you do meth?
Well, he didn't say he was doing it. He said he possessed it.
Well, he was passed out from something.
Right. Well, maybe from being up on meth for 5 days and nights.
Yeah, eventually you come down.
Well, they said there were a number of items that indicated he was planning to sell it. No word on what exactly caused him to fall asleep, but he is now behind bars.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry, dude.
Why are we so sorry? He had a bunch of meth.
Hadn't really considered that. You've got a valid point there, young man.
We've had a couple of these stories pop up of somebody who is running late for a flight, so they call in a bomb threat to try to delay their plane.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Guy named Jacob Abdalak is now going to spend time behind bars.
Abdalak.
If you are going to do it, make sure you have a fun name like Abdalak.
Hey.
He is going to be going to jail for 10 months for calling in a bomb threat.
Well, Paul, how is he going to pay for his expenses while he's in jail?
Well, he has Abdalak.
Abdalak. Oh, it's so fun.
That really just happened?
It did.
It did. It really did.
Might happen again if you're lucky.
Yeah, you better move along, sister, because I'm ready to Abdalak one more time.
That's okay.
What was it?
Abdalak.
I have some fantastic news in the news.
Really?
Oh, better than that?
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
I mean, as entertaining as that was, this is just some straight up good news in the news. Waffle House
Yeah.
has announced
Yeah.
a food truck that you can hire to cater one of your events.
Yeah, you have some good news in the news. That's awesome. We watch a show called The Amazing Food Truck Race.
Yeah, that one's
And
good.
a lot of them and other trucks that we've seen do, like they'll do weddings. How cool would it be to have the hot dog or sausage or fried chicken truck at your wedding? That'd be great.
Yeah, a Waffle House food truck will cater your party. I think we're all in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have we determined none of us have actually been to Waffle House?
I've never
I've
been to one. You've
I've been several times.
You had some grits?
Grits, yeah. I put maple syrup on them and they yelled at me.
Yes, well, they should.
They're my grits, lady. You sold them to me for $3.75. I will put whatever I want on them.
We were going to take a road trip there like 3 years ago.
Yeah, which is weird because it's like a 2,000-mile road trip.
That's why it's called a road trip and not just a road.
A scuba diving instructor in Australia shared a very crazy video that shows him rescuing a shark that had a large piece of netting caught in his mouth.
Wow.
The video shows the diving instructor assisting the shark, and it looks super scary. He goes up to it, and of course, the shark's not real happy with it.
Yeah, the shark's mad.
Starting to wrestle the netting, he's able to wrestle it free and says there's no way the shark wouldn't have died if the net hadn't been removed because he couldn't eat.
Right. And don't sharks have to swim to live? Don't they have to keep moving at all times?
Yes,
They
yeah.
even have to move while they swim. That's nice. Is it a real shark that would eat his face?
It was
Kinda
a real shark that would eat his face.
Good on you there, mister.
Yeah. And his
Because I'll
torso.
rescue a Nerf shark because they're stupid.
We have so much more news to come. Music news, big concert announcement with a Seattle date. The first ever artist to perform at Stonehenge has been confirmed. I will explain. And a familiar face leaving the Seahawks. We'll talk about that in the Mariners next in sports. Starting with music news, David Crosby announced he will be touring the United States this fall with his Lighthouse Band, kicking off a 5-week run on November 2nd here in Seattle.
Neat.
David Crosby will perform The Neptune. Tickets will be going on sale on Friday. The Lighthouse Band is comprised of a whole slew of people he's collaborated with before. He said he's got a new album coming out. And if that weren't enough, David Crosby, also the subject of a new documentary being produced by Cameron Crowe. They've been following him for years, and all of the footage and conversations and stories will be part of the documentary.
Cool. I didn't know that he would still have that kind of pull to get James Cameron to do the documentary. That's great because I really liked it. Now, is he going to be doing... Cameron Crowe, I'm sorry. Is he going to do any of these songs we're hearing now? Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
I think he does. I think he'd be crazy not to.
He'd be crazy not to.
Here's one for my new album. Just
Yeah.
no.
Well, you can do one from your new album. Just do 3 from Crosby, Stills, Nash, and possibly Young if you wish to.
For
November
fans,
2nd.
that's a small theater. That's like
Yeah.
maybe 1,000 people. So that'd be cool. Everybody's right up close.
Yep. The first ever artist to perform at Stonehenge has been confirmed. I don't know about you guys, but I just kind of figured bands had played there before.
Julio Iglesias.
Close.
Really?
Has played there or is going to play
No,
there?
nobody's ever played there.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever played there, and it's not Julio, and it's actually not close.
Oh. Well, aside from that, it was perfect.
Is it U2? It's got to be U2.
It is not U2, although they do love playing outdoors and in
Yeah.
unusual locations. It is British DJ Paul Oakenfold.
Oh, he was my next guess.
That's who I would pick.
Oakenfold, are you kidding me?
That's who I'd pick for the first ever of anything.
He's won Grammys. He began his career in the 1980s, and he has remixed Mission Impossible, Madonna, Britney Spears, The Cure, and even the Rolling Stones. He is a much beloved DJ, and he will be the first person to perform at Stonehenge.
Well, first of all, Stonehenge blows. It's a couple of rocks. It's nothing. You want to see stuff, go to the Colosseum, go to the pyramids.
When did you go there?
Never. Why would I go
Because
to a
it
place that I
blows.
know
Why
blows?
would you go there? Yeah. And now it's
what?
going to blow even worse.
8 rocks, 10 rocks in their original form before somebody knocked them all down?
What I've heard is what the critics of Stonehenge say is that it's right off a highway, a freeway, a major roadway, whatever they call them over there. So that whenever you see it, it's these beautiful stones. You don't know what they mean. They were constructed around 3000 BC. What is it for? And then you just see a whole lot of cars trucking by.
The Coliseum's like that too, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Coliseum's literally on the street.
There's like a Pizza Hut across the street too.
Lots of them. I don't know about Pizza Hut, but pizza for sure. And maybe Pizza Hut, they had them there.
I think so.
Paul Oakenfold has also performed on the Great Wall of China and Mount Everest Base Camp.
Who is this guy? And shut up. I do want to see you too. I was going to say an American rock and roll band, and you might say, well, they're Irish, Mr. Bonaduce. And I would say, no, we made them and we can break them too.
I saw U2 perform under the Brooklyn Bridge, which was pretty spectacular.
Did you just wake up there and go, oh, man, what a night I had last night.
Downtown. Netflix has renewed Glow for a third season. This renewal comes nearly 2 months after the second season premiered. Glow has been nominated for 8 Primetime Emmys, including Outstanding Comedy Series.
And that's Glamorous Ladies of Wrestling?
Yes. It's supposed
Seems
to be really
awful
good.
stupid, but all right.
I've never watched it, but it gets great reviews. Just not really my thing. And Netflix has unveiled its first Mexican reality series, and it will be bowing worldwide September 28th. The show is called Made in Mexico, and it casts a light on Mexico City's wealthiest families and their opulent lifestyles.
How is Made spelled?
M-A-D-E.
Okay, because there was that Made in America, M-A-I-D, with J-Lo and things like that. And they're all rich, but no, okay.
Is this a Spanish language show or English?
As far as I know, this will be all in Mexican. Sorry, Spanish.
Are they going to be talking Mexican? That's crazy, man.
When I signed up for Spanish lessons, you can sign up for Latin America or European Spanish. I'm like, how do I know which one? Because one of them's the sounds and the other one is the regular.
Yeah, just go with Mexican
Gracias.
Spanish. You'll be, that's the one I think most widely. Spain, they still do that Castilian weird lispy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only place they do that.
And TNT is expanding its relationship with Claws star Niecy Nash.
Okay, I love that show. Have you ever
Claws?
seen it?
Really?
Yes,
No.
it's about people that do nails for a living in their nail salon.
I've seen the commercials
It's
for it.
odd. They blow everybody up, and whoever they don't blow up, they shoot.
I like Niecy Nash, and they do too. They are going to try out this show currently titled Naked with Niecy Nash, and she will offer advice on love, sex, romance, relationships with everyday people.
Will she be naked?
No, I think it's as in like a stripped down.
Amy's out of her mind about this show we saw in England, and I forget what it's called, but a normal person with a normal life is interviewed, and then they essentially play the dating game, but instead of looking at their faces, their stuff is coming through a hole in the wall, and you get to look at it and say, yeah, I want to date this guy. It's the
Wow.
craziest, man.
Well, if this show gets picked up, this will be the first late night series in TNT's history, and it would make Niecy Nash only one of 2 late night female hosts, the other being Samantha Bee, who hosts Full Frontal.
Right.
So we got a naked theme.
We do. I think women should try and steer away from that a little bit, because Amy Schumer had mostly sex stuff was the name of her show for a while, and then inside Amy Schumer, I think we need less double entendres. That's what I think we need.
A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Thank you. It's been, I'm starting to get mad, so I'm glad you came along.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Was not given to Danny.
That's crazy. I didn't give it. I was going to spend 40 G's.
Wasn't given to him. He earned
I
that.
earned that.
A lifetime of work.
Mm-hmm.
I turned down my Academy Award for that.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. You don't know anything.
You don't have one, so I guess you must have turned it down.
Exactamente.
Someone else was given
That was
a star
Spanish.
yesterday, and that would be Jennifer Garner. She was with her former co-star Steve Carell, Judy Greer, Bryan Cranston, and she got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And she was there with her daughters, her 3 kids as well. And this was the same day that Ben Affleck was back in the news for his abysmal dating life. He had been in a relationship with a producer for SNL for about a year.
Right.
And then he was spotted with a Playboy model. And guess what? That other relationship ended rather quickly.
Oh, yeah. That's going to blow you right up.
Whoops.
I have never been spotted with a Playboy model.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. It was an exciting night for the Mariners, playing at Safeco Field amid the smoke. But Robinson Cano's bat was the thing that was smoking. He hit a home run late to lift the Mariners to a 7-4 win over the Houston Astros.
Nice.
Huge series. Derek, what are the latest standings?
Right now, the Mariners are 3.5 games behind the Athletics and the Astros, who are both tied in first.
All right, so we need to win tonight, and we need the Athletics to lose tonight.
Yeah.
Can't remember who they're playing, but whoever it is, they must be better. That's the plan. Sad news about the Seattle Seahawks. The longest tenured Seahawk is moving on. Punter John Ryan tweeted out the news yesterday before the team could even make an official announcement. He said, "I will always remain a Seahawk even though I'm leaving." And basically just said thanks to the fans and the people of Seattle.
He seemed like a sweetheart of a guy. And when I say he seemed like, it doesn't mean like he's dead. He's just dead to me.
Yeah.
If he goes to another team. If he doesn't go to another team, like Marshawn Lynch was, there you go. And then he signed up and he's on another team. Now you're dead to me.
Yeah, we were already being extra nice to John Ryan by liking him despite the fact that he's Canadian.
Right.
Now, if you're Canadian and you play for the Browns.
You know whose fault it is that there's all this smoke here?
John Ryan.
John Ryan and his little
And his
Canadian
Canadians.
cohorts.
By the way,
breaking news.
Oakland played the Texas Rangers yesterday and beat them 9-0. They play the Rangers again today.
Nice. Okay, I got some breaking news into the KZOK sports desk, which is otherwise known as my computer. John Ryan, Bills.
Oh.
Dead to me.
Dead to me, yeah.
Do we play them?
Yeah.
Dead to me.
No, I don't know if we play them this season, actually.
Will we play them ever? Have we played them ever?
We have.
Okay, that's it. Dead to me.
Yeah, this is unconfirmed. This is Ian Rappaport of NFL Media reporting John Ryan is presently signing a contract with the Bills. Bye.
That guy knows his stuff, so it's probably true.
Dead to me. So, but I mean, you can't just go switch to another team and think we're pals. You don't see me popping up on the men's room thinking I'm witty, talking all over the other guys who won't be quiet, and then I'd be dead to you.
But let's think of it from his perspective. The Seahawks signed a...
No, let's think of it from our perspective. He's dead to us.
They signed a new punter, so I think they were going to say adios.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Well by the way, it doesn't matter if he was fired or quit if he goes to another team. Dead to me.
Yeah. Plus, how can we look at it from his perspective? He has no perspective because he's dead to us.
Exactly. Thank you. Because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing and if it's okay, but now I feel all right about it. Thank you.
Right on.
One of y'all mentioned the Cleveland Browns a minute ago.
That'd be Paul right there.
Well, there is an interesting story circulating about the Cleveland Browns.
That they're the worst football team in the history of
No,
ever?
she said an interesting story, not something you've known for a long time.
Vegas sports books say there are a lot of people who are betting on the Browns to win the Super Bowl.
No.
In fact, more people are betting on the Browns to win the Super Bowl than they are betting on the Falcons, the Kansas City Chiefs, or the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you know why?
Why?
The odds.
Yeah.
People are taking a chance on a loser.
It's also a good way of throwing away your money, but...
Well, I doubt that was their plan. Their plan is, oh, man, it's 1,000 to 1. I'm going to put down $100. If I win $100,000. That's the theory.
I think Cleveland's going to win 4 games this season.
Well, I had a bet with somebody that they won a game. Did that game come and go, or was that not a preseason game?
I think you and I bet that this season they wouldn't go. You bet that they would not. That they would go winless again.
No,
or they wouldn't go winless.
They won't
again?
go winless.
Oh, and
Nobody's
I
going
took that they won't win another game.
Ah, you're out of your mind. Okay, and we have money on that?
Yeah, 50 trillion Zimbabwean
I can
dollars.
almost taste it. Because it tastes like Zimbabwe.
UFC just fought one of his biggest battles. Do you guys know this guy?
No. Wait, is he a UFC fighter?
He's a UFC fighter.
Yeah, I know he is.
Named
Is he
Cowboy.
called Cowboy?
Guy is ripped to shreds, man. You should see. He looks like he's going to kill somebody, but he probably only weighs about 165.
Well, he was facing a huge battle, and it was not in the ring. The 35-year-old fighter revealed he nearly lost his life while cave diving in Cozumel. He said, "We had a catastrophic worst-case scenario, total silt-out, lost the cave line, lost my buddy, couldn't see my own hands in front of my face. It was the scariest moment in my life." Now, cave diving, they say, is considered very technical and risky. In many cases, they carry extra oxygen tanks to switch out mid-dive. He was diving in the El Aerolito.
Yeah.
12 miles inland, blend of fresh and saltwater, dangerous cave system, and there is an abundance of crocodiles.
I am aware of it. I never dove it.
Why
but,
would you?
I had, for fun, I'd give that a shot. That's an animal. I got weapons and stuff. I'm smarter than that crocodile. I'll make it into luggage. But I went I was with my boss, and we're on a boat, and I don't know, we did a remote. We took listeners, and we all went to Jamaica, I think. And so I had just gotten off probation. I was on probation for like 7 years. So I'm smoking pot like a lunatic. I am so high, I don't know what to do. And my boss goes, "Come on, let's just dive. Put on your gear." And I didn't want to say anything, so I put it on. And the second I hit the water, I just started being so paranoid. I went, "Oh my God, sharks, death. I don't remember how to do this." And we went through a tiny little cave, and he kicked up some of that silt, and I couldn't see anything. I'm just saying it. I am still panic stricken. So this poor guy.
And sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. We've been talking about the Mariners. Super excited about this series. And what did you say? That we got Texas that we are rooting for tonight as well?
Yeah, we're rooting for the Rangers to beat the A's.
All right. A lot of good sports action happening tonight. And Derek and Tori doing a little pre-funk. Tito's tailgate at Henry's First Avenue Tavern right across from Safeco. Hanging out before the big game. Getting you guys ready for a night at the ballpark. So swing on by and get cocktails from Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka. Tori, you said you've got some good giveaways as well?
We do. We have Foo Fighters tickets.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Fantastic. So join Derek and Tori tonight, 5 till 7.
Beautiful. You know, earlier in the show, we were talking about your rock and roll crush.
Yeah.
And I don't think it has to be. You know, I said Taylor Swift. I was wrong.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. I got to go with Steve Slayton. When
Absolutely.
I see Steve Slayton and Taylor Swift side by side, and I see that a lot, they're pals. I think, you know what? I got to run towards Team Slayton. Anyway, he's going to bring his pretty face in here, and he's going to play a bunch of classic rock and roll for your listening pleasure. We should probably get out of the way, so bye.